Billy Foster, set in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the two cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the 10 years to the miraculous Medina when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates. But a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Gimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Good morning, 4 minutes after 6 o'clock. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online. All with a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. Alan Brazil Ray Parlour join me on a Tuesday.
I know, Al. What's going on?
How are you? With a late one last night, busy one. But
yeah, no, it was a nice evening, wasn't it? It's a nice little theatre we went to, so really enjoyed it. But yeah, it don't seem right today, Al. We got to pretend it's a Friday. That's what we got to try.
We were down in Southend, right? It's very, very nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice
I like
people,
the old theatres.
nice
I like the old
people.
theatres. Oh, but you know, the little rooms and they've got, and it's amazing to see how. Obviously, we've done it at Cliffs, haven't we, down at Southend, which is a lot bigger. But the Palace Theatre I thought it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And I couldn't believe it. I spun my car around, and it's one way all the way back to London. Mind you, when I got to London, what are they doing in London?
Oh, well,
Try to get into Docklands, and people going the other way at that time of night, try to get out. There's something badly wrong.
Yeah, well, that is the problem when you travel at night now. I mean, even if you come around the M25, Al,
Roadworks.
you know, it's good, but I'm going through villages sometimes. If you're doing an event or something, you're going through villages that didn't exist.
3 lanes into one, you know, that sometimes can be nasty.
Oh, yeah,
People
of
are
course.
very polite, but I couldn't believe it. And then The flyover was shut before you come into Canary Wharf. I had to go all the way around Canning Town, and I thought, what's the point of doing
You should have
this?
stayed in bed this morning.
Honestly, Ray, I thought, what's the point of doing this?
Don't. Well,
It just ruins your day.
no, it's a nightmare. I mean, you've got a lot of people coming in, especially the black cab drivers who I don't know if they can get down the old bus lane, but it might help them out a little bit. But
Surely at night like that, then if they're going to put 3 into 1, let you use the bus lane.
Well, a little bit of common sense, Alan, which a lot of people don't use, do they? But yeah, as I said before, when you're coming around at M25 at times, like even this morning, I'm seeing that's closed, this is closed, that's closed, and it just causes havoc, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For people travelling, really does.
By the way, have you not been here for 18 days?
No, I haven't.
I can't
Because you've
believe
been
that.
away. You went away, didn't you? All I've been doing there was playing golf, but I'm getting worse. That's
Really?
a big problem. I'm playing too much. I had a couple of golf days last week, which was really good fun.
Where?
Taylor Wimpey won at Brocket Hall, which you have your golf day there, didn't you? And it's a lovely, Brocket Hall is fantastic, isn't it? And it was a beautiful day. I mean,
It is beautiful.
the weather's been stunning. You've been away. I know you've had some good weather, but the weather in England has been absolutely superb.
Yeah.
I mean, proper golf weather. I hate it when people say it's too hot. Because you don't want it to be cold, you don't want it to rain.
Yes, it's going to rain today, so what?
Yeah, well, we need a bit of rain because, especially the golf courses, Al, definitely need a little bit of rain and getting a bit hard over there, and a nice little bit of a watering would be nice for the course. But yeah, I played Taylor Wimpey on Thursday, and then Canary Wharf Contractors Fund, which was absolutely brilliant. I mean, London Club. And the London Club's hard though. I mean, Jamie's a member over there, isn't he? O'Hara.
Well off the team.
He was over there, and Razor Ruddock. He was playing with me as well, but he didn't play together.
Was the bar good? Over
Oh, it was. Well, we to be fair, we had a beer at 9:30. It was quite good. That's quite early. I said that's even early for me and Alan. We caught past 10 usually, but it was 9:30 in the morning. And he said, "Oh, it was my fault really." I said, "Come, let's have a quick one. It's better when you get the swing. You get a bit more comfortable swing when you've had a pint."
I've not seen Rory do that before. Or...
Well, yeah, they're playing for different.
Scheffler,
I think they're playing for different stakes to us, Al. You know what I mean? We're just going for a bit of fun. But I had a great four ball. We had a really good laugh going round, and that's what it's all about. I love golf days. I think they're so good.
Cobra
fun.
bombs in the way around.
We had probably one in the evening, but they had a massive marquee set up as well. And after people know you, Al, everybody was kind of, oh, well, yeah, Alan, Canary Wharf, and because you're always obviously around Canary Wharf area in Browns and all that sort of stuff. I said, oh, yeah, I always see Alan sitting outside, and but obviously,
Well, I like to sit there reading, have a little read, and have a couple of beers in the sun.
yeah, but. How much it's changed, isn't it, Canary Wharf? I mean, from when it was first there, two buildings.
When I first started doing this, Ray, one the
building.
main tower, and I thought, who put that there?
Yeah.
There's nothing around it.
Well, believe it or not, all the guys at this golf day is, organised all the buildings, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
But the charities they made money for was unbelievable. I mean, I think they had 4 or 5 charities where they raised money.
Really do that,
They put so much money into.
I did one at the Royal Horse Guards Hotel a couple of weeks ago, and it's amazing what the construction industry does.
Absolutely.
For charity.
Well, a lot of them, obviously, the lighthouse we know about, which helps out a lot of families and whatever. But there's other charities for children, and it's
Sizewell, I know it's going to be problematic down there because it's going to be so large and take so long. But they've sponsored the lighthouse this year at Kesgrave Hall, which is a big venue.
Well, we've done one in town, didn't we, recently?
Yeah, well, I did one as well, but this is Michelle, my daughter's involved in it.
Oh, brilliant.
And Sizewell have been brilliant.
And when's your golf days? Yours is September, isn't
I've
it?
got 2 at Brocket Hall and 1 at Glen Eagles.
Oh, well, that'll be stunning, that will. I've never played Glen Eagles. I've been up there to do like a little speech, but I've never played it. It's supposed to be unbelievable, isn't it?
I walked round at Ryder Cup, but I've not played it. I won't be playing it now, because if you play a good course, you've got to know what you're doing.
Well, as I said before, London Club was difficult. I played the Heritage over there, and the rough, and go a little bit wayward. You do find your ball, but you start to get it out of the rough.
I tell you what's meant to be brilliant, and you should be there with me, is La Sala, the new private members club.
Oh, yeah,
They've got fantastic...
David Bentley.
Yeah, they've got fantastic... What do you call them? not driving range, but the big machine.
Oh, yeah.
They've got.
You can play any course you want around the world.
The very latest, and they're magnificent. Yeah.
Yeah, I will go down there sooner or later.
Club, but there's another name for it as well. It's meant to be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, how was Marbella? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, quiet. I bumped into Mossy and all his. I went for. I'll be honest with you. I went for.
Now, that's right. This is quite a good story.
So,
where was you on the beach?
Me and the wife on the beach. It was amazing. I was watching these dolphins flipping out of the surf and all that. Right? And it's very rare you see them there. So you've got La Sala Beach Club, you've got Ocean Beach, and then you get Port of Bruce. Just back the other way is Mistral Beach. And I was just gazing at them, but my back was killing. I thought, I know what I'll do. Over there, not the Chinese, right, but the hotel, were doing massages and proper. And all of a sudden I go, ow,
it's all about proper.
And Joe was just dozing off, and I go, ow, I'll look round, it's Mossy from Lowestoft, and all his crowd, and one of them puts up the Winter Wonderland in Hyde Park, you know, all the amusements and fairs.
Yeah, of course.
You just sit down, and there's about, I'm not kidding.
This is a classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jill was asleep.
Well, she was just dropping off.
For at least 3 hours.
And there was a dozen of them, and their wives from a dozen other table. And he said, "You're on your own?" I went, "Yeah." And out come the Whispering Angel, right? And about 2 hours later, he looked at me and says, "Nah, Jill's got to be." I says, "Yeah, she's see her there with that. She's asleep. Leave her." And he eventually says, "I can't." I says, "Leave her. She's got cream on. She's fine." After another 20 minutes, he went, "I'll just say hello." I went, "No, she needs to sleep. She's tired." Anyway, woke her up. She glared at me. How long have you been here? I went, 5 minutes. She went mental at me.
That's brilliant.
She went mental at me.
I would have left her there, would you?
Oh, she went mad,
Did she?
honestly.
Then she got stuck in.
Oh, she did.
Couple of wines, catch you up.
I went, "Well, no, go on. You know, I'm not eating." I said, "Well, you don't need to eat." Oh dear, that was a rollicking that night, I tell you.
Well, you're used to it, Al. You're used to it.
It was great. So Michelle's down there with the guy. They were all down in Bournemouth. Michelle and her 3 girls, and Jill went down to help out.
Well, I love England.
Cheerleading and stuff. Bournemouth, she said, the beach was mobbed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But you can't beat England. When the weather's... If you can guarantee nice weather, to have a holiday in England, it's stunning, isn't it? You go down there, Cornwall way... I won't mention
the place, it's not the point, but they had a little table in the restaurant on the beach, or near the beach, and what happened was if you went in for a paddle or just see the kids were all right and came back, they made you queue up again as if you're waiting for a table. And these women were going mad because the bags were in there. They'd left their bags, just went for a walk. And he wasn't having it, the security guy. So Joe got involved and he went, "Oh, go on and you can go in." She says, "My grandkids are there." "Oh, you can go in." And then the other lot went, "Well, if she's going in, that..." He says, it's just so stupid, no common sense.
Well, the security guy's got to see you walking out and say, "Well, I clocked them 2 or 3 or whatever it is," and say, "Right, when you come back, you've got your table."
Everything is so tough now in this country. And then I was just talking to, very briefly, I was talking to Billy the cab coming in. He's got a great ribs place for you in Alvor.
Oh, Alvor, yeah. I told him all about Alvor.
And he was telling me about the airport, Faro, getting through.
It's a nightmare.
Well, do you know what? I've got the stage where it's the same in Malaga. I've got the stage now. They don't want us, so I'm seriously thinking.
They probably do.
I'm seriously thinking they're blowing the locals out, like Portugal.
I'm surprised
not so much
because
Portugal. I like Portugal. I love Julia's, don't I, down there. But the way the airports are treating Brits, European Brits, it's just a disgrace.
They make it difficult, and the queue, at Faro can go right round. I mean, there's 2 people on it. They've got the automatic ones.
Not working.
They don't work.
So what is the point? All them people in the airport, they're losing money because they want to get back to the hotel, quickly get the gear off. And go and have a beer with a pool or a cocktail.
They rely on tourists, Al. Yeah. That country, rely on tourists.
So they're going to kill the golden goose, you know that? They're going to do... People are going to start going to get Turkey and places like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And someone said to me, Greece as well. Mykonos now is just ridiculous prices.
Is it gone up? But I like Greece. There's some lovely parts of Greece.
Anyway, that's the travel bit done with our talkSPORT. We have a huge show for you this week. No, but you want to think about it. Go somewhere different now, because if they don't want us, stuff them. We should do the same here. We look ahead to a huge day 5 between England and India. Can England make history again with a huge chase needed on the final day? David Lloyd tells if they can do it. That Mbeumo, he's unbelievable. We're joined by professional surfers coming on to try and get me on board. Yeah, right, mate. I tried it once in Waikiki, nearly killed myself. Well, that's Ray if Arsenal are dragging their feet without signing the striker, and are we really excited about this? Tennis icon, the Aussie Nick Kyrgios, will join us to tell us just how far off Brit Jack Draper is. The likes of Alcaraz and Sinner right now, whether Emma Raducanu, she's having acupuncture by all accounts, can return to the top, and also if he generally would rather be streaming COD than playing tennis. Streaming COD, by the way, is playing Call of Duty.
I didn't realise it.
No, stay with us on talkSPORT Breakfast. Big show coming up. Ray Parlour alongside me. Oh yeah, I watched them at the O2. They were absolutely brilliant. Susie Nix was fantastic. But why are we playing this absolute classic this morning? Well, today is a bit of a special day. It's Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. He's 78.
Is he?
Birthday today.
Great song.
Happy birthday, Mick.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I'm sure you're fast asleep.
Cobra Bomb later.
Yeah, absolutely. But what a band, eh?
Yeah,
God,
brilliant.
what a band.
Fantastic.
Took
That's
America
a
by
great
storm. Ray, what were you dreaming about last night? Or were we
Dreaming?
Too late to bed?
White Christmas.
I never got to bed. So. I remember on the radio.
I was hungry when I got in. I started eating.
At Times Radio, and I heard Trump say, "That's it. Israel and Iran have called a truce." And I just hope it's good news.
Well, we dropped Grovesy off at the station, didn't we? Perry Groves, yeah. Down at Shenfield, so we didn't really. We was having a chat in the car.
Can you get the train all the way back to Colchester?
Yeah, you'd probably get the quick one from them, wouldn't he? Yeah, I think it's awkward if you go in Southend because it's on a different line, isn't it?
They probably has to get off somewhere and then.
Because they both go through Shenfield. One goes to Southend, and one goes to Chelmsford that way.
I probably have to. So you'll have to. Maybe it does. Yeah, maybe.
So it can get a quick one, but yeah, we shot back. Frank the Bank dropped us back as usual, and yeah, we'd listen to that really, mate. But what did I dream of last night? Getting up and working with you.
No, I doubt it. That was a silly question, don't worry.
It was a silly question.
Let's look now at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Back page review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Are you a freelancer? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
And good morning, Miss.
Good morning.
Miss Shaban.
What was you dreaming of?
She looks like an English teacher, by the way she's dressed.
An English teacher. You look like you're a football hooligan today. It's not a story. What's this brand again? You tell me about this brand.
No, that's my mate's brand.
What's your mate's brand again?
Won't be happy with you.
Maestro.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cheeky plug.
No, yeah. You look a football hooligan.
I got a fake pair of shoes. You want to see them?
Yeah.
There's a few Rangers fans in there last night, wasn't there, Al?
It was. They're all right. I've seen you, but worse. Don't worry about that.
What, a sniff?
No.
They're brand new.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, sorry.
What we got?
Okay, back page of the Sun. There's a right flurry today. So red hot is the headline. Man United second bid for 60 million for Brian Mbeumo.
He's a good player. I like him.
Are you liking this kind of look from Manchester United and Ruben Amorim that he's focusing on these Prem stars already?
Yeah, he's got to. Because that squad is nowhere near good enough.
Again, look, the pressure goes up a bit, doesn't it? When you're playing for a big club. Yeah. Like when Arsenal bought Raya from Brentford, suddenly, you're at a different level now.
Well, I remember thinking...
And Manchester United is very similar. The expectation is big.
Remember we were saying that Arsenal really need another goalkeeper.
Remember that?
But to be fair, he's done really well.
No, he has done well. And the problem is you can make mistakes at Brentford and get away with it. Because they don't expect too much. Just, come mid-table is a great season for Brentford. But when you get to, now, there's expectation. Man United have got to have a much better season next year.
I think they've got to be minimum top six.
Manchester United, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Such a big club. What the bar they set when I was playing against them back in the day was unbelievable team, and they've dropped off that quite a long way. And it might take a bit of time, but they've got to try and get in that top six again, definitely for that European spots. And...
Do you know what it was? I don't know if you're going to deal with it, Shaban, but I was gutted for Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh,
I was so
heartbreak.
I was gutted. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. I know he was up there. He was leading. I know he was leading.
And do you know what they're saying now?
Final day, wasn't it?
Like Keegan Bradley, winning it, and him being the US Ryder Cup captain. Is this an omen ahead of the Ryder Cup?
Well, he might be playing captain since the first time in the 60s, I think.
So that's an interesting take as well. But you do favour Tommy.
He bogeyed the last, and Bradley birdied the last.
Yeah. Well, you can't complain about that. I mean, it's just one of them things. But as long as you're knocking on the door every week, you nearly...
Well, he's up there.
Yeah, he's always up there, isn't he, Tommy? And he's a really top-class player, so... it's just one of the situations where... Do you see that putt, though, from the US Masters?
Yeah,
US Open, sorry. Oh, that was unbelievable.
What a way to win it.
Do you see all the other guys who's like Tyrrell Hatton and people like that was up there? Their faces like... To be fair, they went, oh, well, fair play. If you're going to win it...
And by the way, the
like
big one before Bob McIntyre came second.
Yeah, he was...
So, Ryder Cup boys are not doing too bad.
Yeah, no, that's very, very true. But Tommy, I mean, especially when you lose in that fashion... he went straight to the media. And you know when you could be pulling your hair out, and he was like, I have to just focus on my next game, going, this is where I finished. Stay in that frame of mind. Don't let it get negative, which is so hard to do.
That's what you can do.
Driving and second shots, I think Tommy's better than Keegan Bradley. Tommy does have a habit of just missing the killer putts when he's got great opportunities.
Do you think that's a mindset thing?
I think the golf, you can have a bad game, good game, but as soon as you finish that 18th hole, it's finished. And you've got to look forward to the next game.
I remember
whatever you might shoot 100 out.
I interviewed Tommy at the Scottish Open, and he was so down to earth, lovely.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it really was. I was gutted for him.
Yeah, no, he does. He seems like a really nice guy. So fingers crossed next time for Tom.
What else we got?
Andrew Dillon, back page of the Sun. Enzo Maresca claims the heat is hitting Chelsea's Club World Cup bid, and it's becoming almost impossible to train. So they're in Philadelphia just now. Their game is at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning.
39 degrees or something, did I read?
Yeah, near 40 degrees. So they've got these massive fans out on the pitch, kind of spraying over cold water on the players. But he's at that point now where he can't put too much on the players in training because it's just becoming unhealthy. So they've moved this game back again to try and suit a cooler temperature. It's going to be 9 p.m. kick-off for them. But what was the hottest that you trained in? Is it impossible?
It's always pre-season, isn't it?
I played in the Mile High Stadium, Denver.
I went down to...
But apart from the heat, it was the altitude. And you couldn't breathe.
Well, my sister's in Denver right now because
you can't breathe.
Ireland are playing the USA in a friendly, and she texted me saying, this game I might die, nice knowing you. So the altitude is killing them.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I mean I went away with Arsenal to America during pre-season, and we went down to Charlotte, which is North Carolina, isn't it?
Yeah, south.
And North Carolina.
Yeah, it was blistering.
South,
do you know when you just stop sweating?
Yeah.
And I'm just standing there, and I'm sweating. Everybody was just
like, what's that bad race? That was Singapore. You get up, you shower, you walk across the road, and you need another shower.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But it's like that in the evening as well. And Alan was in the bar.
No.
He didn't even watch me play.
I was on the roof of the Singapore Cricket Club. There was a little breeze up there, and they kept bringing me a cold beer and poor old Blaze running about.
I remember I got in about 4 a.m, and Paul Parker was our manager. Well, like our thing, he said, "Right, we'll have a warm up before the game." So I ain't warming up, Paul. I'm really sorry, mate. I don't feel too good as it is, and he wanted me to warm up.
Oh,
but as soon as I got on the pitch, it was all right. I think we won it as well, didn't we? You weren't even watching.
Big fan.
Oh, he was over there.
I watched the first 10 minutes.
He was 300 yards over there in a bar.
Cricket Club, by the way, cricket. Let's make history. Back page of the Times today. Headingley will have you covered from 11 o'clock today.
It's a big chase, though, isn't it?
They need 350.
For me, he's the best bowler in the world. Fantastic.
And he's quite handsome as well. I've been on his Instagram.
Have you?
I've been having a wee look. I'll send you his page.
Back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Are you a freelancer? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
Bazball, England's approach to Test cricket under Kiwi coach Brendan McCullum. What is it really, and is it working? We've had a look. Is it just aggressive batting? That is a big part of it. Test teams around the world are scoring faster all the time, but the Bazballers are the fastest scoring Test team ever. Bazball, England's approach to Test cricket under Kiwi coach Brendan McCullum. What is it really, and is it working? We've had a look. Is it just aggressive batting? That is a big part of it. Test teams around the world are scoring faster all the time, but the Bazballers are the fastest scoring Test team ever.
.34, just talking about the lines. So Joe Schmidt, the Australian coach, has allowed some of his Wallabies to play in the warm-up games in the lines, try and soften them up a wee bit.
Is that right? That's going to be some talk. Yeah, it's going to be good. I think the Lions are massive favourites, aren't they?
I was talking last week.
Did they lose to Argentina, didn't they?
Yeah, but I said it'd be a difficult game. Argentina beat all the big boys.
They've got bigger, they've got better, haven't they, over the last few years?
And bigger.
Yeah, Argentina. But I still fancy the Lions big time, do you?
I think it could be 2-1.
Do you?
I think it'll be close, but I think the Lions have got to beat them.
I think they're a much better side, aren't they?
Well, the Aussies can put it together. You know, they're great competitors.
They up their game. They up their game.
Yeah, but I think the Lions will just be too strong all round for them. Yeah. I hope so, anyway.
And when's that start, Al? Is it
soon, isn't it? Is it July?
Is it?
Yeah, I think it might be
July.
In a few days. Yeah, a few days' time. Now, there's been a bit of an interesting story that emerged in the last few days. Real Madrid and Wales legend Gareth Bale has announced that he's part of a takeover bid of his hometown club, Cardiff City. Now, that's got to be good news. The offer was rejected, but current owner Vincent Tan, he wants to sell, and it's believed that Gareth Bale's group will rebid. Speaking to talkSPORT at the F1 movie premiere last night, Bale spoke about what it would mean to become part of Cardiff in an ownership role.
Not necessarily the dugout, but no, definitely be excited to be a part of an ownership group, and would love to kind of go down that route.
Are we expecting a second bid?
I can't say too much, but like I said, we'd love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
And finally, we sort of heard rumours of Plymouth Argyle before. Was that ever an option for you, or was that just speculation?
No, I have no idea where Plymouth came from, to be honest with you, but it's always been Cardiff that we've been trying to get, and obviously being from Cardiff, it's obviously where I was born, where I grew up. I'm very passionate. Obviously, I know how passionate the Wales fans and the Cardiff fans are, so it's an interesting time, exciting time, and hopefully something can be done.
Oh, Dino won't be happy. Dino's a swan, isn't he?
Oh,
He
yeah,
won't be happy.
But no, that is exciting news for Cardiff.
Remember we were down in Cardiff. How nice
I
was
love
that?
Cardiff. I think it's good. Well, I've got fond memories of Cardiff, Al, Millennium Stadium, when it was called that. Obviously, cup finals. I tell you what, that Millennium Stadium, the atmosphere was superb. I mean, as much as you love playing at Wembley, which is the pinnacle playing at Wembley, but when we went down there when they was rebuilding Wembley, it was unbelievable. 2001 we lost to Liverpool, 2002 we was there, Chelsea, and then obviously we beat Southampton 2003. So we was there 3 years running, and the atmosphere was always
just that
great.
little walk we had. We got off the train, we walked around the stadium. It reminded me so much of Glasgow, you know.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. If you ask any fans who go to the cup finals at Millennium Stadium in that era, they loved it. You know, just to travel in. West Ham went there, didn't they, with Liverpool, when Steven Gerrard scored that goal and won the cup in the end. But yeah, it was such a nice place. But Cardiff City fans is music to their ears. I mean, Gareth Bale, like legend. If he can get back into a consortium and somehow get the club, and he is a sleeping giant, definitely. I mean, if you can get it going again and put the investment in. You could see him back in the and I'm sure Aaron Ramsey would be involved as well, because Aaron, that's where he come through as well, Cardiff, before he went to Arsenal. So there'd be a good people involved, certainly.
I'll tell you a quick story about Cardiff, and I'll make it quick. I've gone down.
You don't have to. You can make it 3.5 hours.
No, I've gone down for Wales, Scotland rugby. In fact, Kenny Logan's just finished the bike ride with Ali.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And we got to the London station. I forget what one now. And we got on the train, and it was a real old train. I thought, oh dear. But anyway, we got on, and we walked down. There he was, the legend, with his girlfriend at the time, George Best.
Oh yes.
And he went, Alan. I went, George, you okay? And I went, hello to his girlfriend. How are you? He says, sit down. I went, no, don't worry. We're just going to go up the buffet and get a couple. He says, what are you doing? I said, I'm down for the rugby. He says, I'm talking tonight down there. I went, I know, I'm coming to see you. It was a place called The Bank. I said, I'm coming to see you. He says, sit down. I said, well, so my mate said, I'll go and get the wine. He says, George, get in. Do you want in? And she immediately his girl said, no, water. And George looked up and winked and says, lots of water, right? So he comes back with a couple of bottles of wine, right? And off we go. And it was funny, every time we went through a tunnel on this train, as I say, it was an old one, the lights sort of shook a wee bit and went out until you come back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Anyway, cut a long story short. We're
every tunnel he was going through.
Halfway down to Cardiff, and I'm topping myself up because I'm really excited. It's going to be a big weekend. We're sitting there, and George keeps pouring water for his girlfriend, and he'd have one. I've noticed he's not really sipping his water, but he's making her drink ours. So, two things happened. Every time we went through a tunnel,
yeah.
I went to finish my wine off. I thought,
it's gone down a bit.
Hold on a minute. Have I got a leak in this glass? And then another time, she got the Louis, quick, get over here. So we get off at Cardiff down at the train station. Well, he wandered down that platform living like he used to do at Old Trafford. He was going in and out. And she's baffled. She's looking at water. I know, unbelievable.
What was he like speaking?
He was great. He was absolutely. People adored him, loved him.
I'll tell you what, when you talk about best players ever in the world, he's got to be up there, isn't he, George Best?
Yeah.
Some of the pitches they played on.
Oh, and
you look back.
By the way, he had everything. He could head the ball, could kick, could take a kick, could dribble in mud on fast pitch, and he was brilliant.
He should do 1-2s off the opposition, didn't he? And put himself in.
He was brilliant.
But he could score goals, and, I mean, if you put him on pitches like today, imagine it.
With no tackling.
It'd be unbelievable.
Time now for a bit of golf, and the Ryder Cup is rapidly approaching. Europe go to New York in September. Wow. I didn't realise it's coming up, aiming to regain the cup. All seems well, but that can't be said about the USA team, as they have a major dilemma on their hands. Captain Keegan Bradley is arguably in the absolute form of his life, winning again at the weekend after a Tommy Fleetwood blow-up. In the normal year, Bradley would be, he'd be a shoo-in, wouldn't he, to play. However, being captain himself, the USA now have a big problem. The last playing captain of the Ryder Cup team was way back in 1963. I said that to you earlier. And Arnold Palmer. The PGA of America appointed Bradley back in July last year with the hope of being a playing captain. So let's get more on this. Let's cross over to talkSPORT's Posh correspondent, specialising on both golf and racing, as he proved at Ascot last week, Rupert Bell. Rupert.
Like this race, we got a horse over from America. Still not quite sure how I pronounce it, but I'm going to have to check that one out. I'll leave it to you, Dave. Is it Shishoscopy? What is it? I don't know. It's something like that. Anyway.
She's so spicy. She's so spicy.
Well, I got it so wrong. What an absolute cock-up. Edit. She's so spicy. Oh, dear.
Rupert, you plum. How can you cock
very
it up?
good.
She's so spicy. What's up with you?
Well, Alan, aren't you the man who can mangle any foreign name with just a blink of an eye?
Oh, that's different. That is difficult.
Well, she's so spicy, I'm going to give you a case of the defence. It's a bit weak, I hasten to add, but the horse is spelt Shisospicy.
Yeah,
okay,
she's so spicy.
Yeah. You don't sit there.
You can't go with this.
You ain't a Western Super.
Is that a bit of pollen around, Rupert? Is it? You've been gardening yesterday?
Well, no, that proves why I'm not a lawyer, because my case of defence was absolutely useless. Well, it was just one of those things, a bit of a brain freeze, but we've all had it, Alan and Ray. I'm sure there are moments, and as I say, just here, if there's a Greek name in front of you, Alan, I think most of us can get it right, except you. So
no, it's not that easy. Let me tell you.
I feel sorry for anybody, Rupert. If you're doing a commentary on say a Greek game and you can't pronounce their name, you just don't mention them, do you?
Elamanamu, that rings a bell. Elamanamu. Do you remember her? Great filly. Come on, my darling, in English, I believe. Anyway, we'll move on, Rupert. Yeah, you're clearly not a scholar. I felt for Tommy Fleetwood, big style.
That was heartbreak. On the 18th, he looked like he would have a chance. He's sort of known as someone who can finish top 10, but he can't close out tournaments. This was a golden opportunity. And then he leaves his approach shot into 18 just short, hits under clubs. Then he leaves his putt in outside Keegan Bradley's approach shot. So then he's got a 7-footer to sort of hope that he can take it to a playoff. And he misses that. And then he's standing by the side of the green. He just can't watch. Yeah. And so, but this is absolute heartbreak. But as you mentioned, before you started humiliating me, Keegan Bradley now has this dilemma. Now, when Arnold Palmer was the captain in 1963, 63, it was just, it was more like an exhibition. It was Great Britain and Ireland. We didn't have the strength in depth. He could easily, America just turned up and won. And that was the way it was back then. So it was easy. This, as you know, a Ryder Cup is a different beast now. To be able to try and captain, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. So what's he going to do with his backup? How's he going to manage it? Because normally, you've got to put your pairings in midway through the morning. And if he's playing in the morning, how can he know what's going on? It seems to me an absolutely ludicrous decision. But he's not short of an ego. When he was part of the team in Medina, and I believe, he has not going to empty the suitcase with all the sort of clothing from that until he's part of being on a winning USA team. Well, yes, they may be favourites in best page, but him as captain, I think, will give European hopes a big, big boost.
Who would be his helper outer, if you know what I mean? Because surely it's like football. If a manager has to go and sit in the stands, you'll have someone on the side who's barking the orders and whatever. So there must be someone who's behind him and who's going to help him. Or why don't they pick two and say if one of you are in a team, then you're going to get it this year, and then you'll get your chance another time.
Well, it was perceived anyway as a surprise pick. He's 39. Yes, he's played well, but, it was they were clutching at straws to find somebody. Obviously in time, I'm sure they would like Tiger Woods to be part of it. Would Jim Furyk come back? But he was part of a team that got beaten. There aren't too many people around who've got experience of getting the team over the line, and we've gone for it. The Americans will not repeat captains in the main, and so therefore they've got a problem. They back themselves into a corner.
Donald Trump might do it.
Well,
he'd be good, wouldn't he?
Oh, grumps! Best page will be fun. But anyway, it is a dilemma. Now, if he doesn't get himself automatically into the team, he says he won't play. But he's playing. He's now world number 7. So on form, you'd almost say he should be in the team. But he will be. There was quite a lot of Team USA. Even
I bet there was. Yeah.
Of the weekend, and it was at times again. That's just a taste of what we're likely to get at Best Page. It's going to be.
It's going to be loud and mouthy, isn't it?
Loud, extremely mouthy, and it will. That's why the sort of calm influence of Luke Donald for Team Europe will be absolutely essential, so that they can try and block out all the noise, because. Yeah. I think it will be a jingoistic golf fest, if I've pronounced that correctly.
I've got to break, Rupert. Are you going out there? Is it guaranteed?
I think I've been given the green light.
So
I should be there for it. So I'm looking forward to it already.
talkSPORT, lastminute.com.
Oh no! I think I think we've it has been confirmed. But so nice. I shall be in New York. But it will be amazing to be part of that and see and I'd love to see. I was lucky enough at the Miracle of Medina. I would love to be at something like this in Best Page.
I love that over Italy. Italy was brilliant as well. What a trip that was. Yeah. Brilliant. Rupert, have a great day. Thank you.
Cheers, Rupert.
Thank you very much.
Still to come on talkSPORT.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need for your landscaping project in stock and available for delivery. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, we've got all the latest transfer news, including Brian Mbeumo, who looks like he's made his mind up on his next club. We'll also find out why things are not happy families with Liverpool and Kanati. That was a look ahead with our good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Join the club and get low trade prices. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
By the way, you're right, Phil, in Belfast. I think I did say Stevie Nicks, didn't I? I'm thinking of Stevie Nichols, the Liverpool fullback. Susie, I know I said Stevie Nicks, it's Stevie Nicks. I think I said Susie. But whoever, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Morning, Shaban.
Good morning, love is in the air.
Who was it?
Ed, hit me up. Who was it?
I don't know.
John Paul Young. Yeah.
I was right.
I was just testing you.
John Paul.
Nah.
Of course it was
You
John
might be
Paul
a
Young.
DJ.
I wasn't playing this up the tunnel in Glasgow.
Why not?
The Sally Gunner.
What was your first dance, Shaban?
It was.
Don't say you can't remember.
It was.
Of course I remember.
Paddy's gone.
I can't remember mine.
It's just going out my
I
head.
can't remember mine.
Paddy's
Only
gone.
you, Yazoo.
Where you go? You used to do that Irish dancing, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I danced at my wedding as well.
Did you?
Yeah. Later on as well. Way.
I bet you Jamie did, didn't
You got a big party coming up soon in your household, haven't you?
Oh, no.
40th, is it? It's Lucy's 40th.
Lucy, yeah.
Is it
She's not 40. I thought she was younger. I thought Lucy was the youngest.
No. She's middle one.
How was Michelle?
42.
Oh, okay. She looks younger.
Yeah, she does.
A bit younger, to be fair. I need what they're having. Love is in the air. Why? Well,
No idea.
apparently there's reports and rumours that Emma Raducanu and Carlos Alcaraz may actually be courting, as well as having this relationship on court. They're going to play at the US mixed doubles together. It's said at the time he approached her and said she would be the perfect person to play alongside. And there's kind of rumours swirling around that they've been arriving at Queen's together, and this kind of connection that they've got setting tongues wagging.
She's sticking pins in her.
What do you mean?
She's having acupuncture.
All right.
For Wimbledon.
Apparently there's a genuine relationship there. She looks in happy spirits. She said there's a good connection between the both of them. She's been supporting him at Queen's. Just wonder, do you
Well,
have
it's a little bit like Agassi, wasn't it? And Steffi Graf.
Yeah.
Back in the day, wasn't
Could they be the new Wimbledon couple?
Yeah, maybe.
There's a few out there that we don't really know about, but yeah, they could be. There's no doubt about it. By the way, he's a top player. Fantastic.
He's only young, isn't he? How old is he?
22.
Yeah,
22.
Great athlete.
20. She's a similar sort of
She's
age?
22. He's 22.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, imagine that.
Bit early to settle down, though.
Won't be worried about the mortgage payments, would they?
No.
On the 6 houses.
Do you think it works? Kind of on-field relationships, on-court relationships.
I wouldn't know.
Can it bring out the best of people, though?
How would I know that?
I'm asking.
No, I don't know.
Why are you
That's
getting
my
your
answer.
back? Right, calm
I'm
down.
not getting my back up. I don't know.
If you're happy, they enjoy each other's company, then there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
You two have a good relationship.
Oh, I'm going to marry Alan next week,
Yeah, we're moving in together. Yeah.
He's the only one who makes you smile.
I'll only move in if Ray sells the house she's got already, which she can't sell.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Nick Kyrgios coming up in the show. He's kind of known as tennis bad boy.
He was a good player, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he got to a final.
I think he just loses it every now and again. He's got a short temper, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's a bad boy, is he? Not like McEnroe back in the days.
No, he is a bit like that, yeah.
He's got the record for most fines of a tennis player because of the on-court temperament.
Yeah.
But you kind of like to watch bits like that. Some of the things that he said in the past, he said he lost a game because he saw a hot chick in the crowd and it distracted him. Whether this is true or not, whether he has done that.
That was like Alan last night. But
Yeah.
put him off his game.
Who was he?
Never you mind, Nosy.
He also said that remember the interview that goes around of him. I think he was at Wimbledon at one point. He ended up in the local pub and he spotted a journalist the next day in the press room and he was like, "Didn't I see you in the pub last night?" Like he seems to relate to so many people and makes everyone seem that little bit more fun to be around.
Yeah, it's good.
Even though he's known as the bad boy, he does have a foundation to help underprivileged kids as well. So he should be good crack on the show.
I wonder if will they talk about what's the guys? Is it Sinner? The number one.
Oh, they don't like each other, do they?
Well, no, but listen, he's been done. Has he not been done?
Yeah.
Drugs.
The doping scandal.
So hold on a minute. How can he be playing at Wimbledon?
Well, that's what I think a lot of people like about Nick Kyrgios is that he'll always see him as a cheat. Now, obviously, he's trying to overturn that, and it's happening to a number of footballers. Look at Pogba getting this move to Monaco, if that's to happen for him.
Yeah. Who would you believe?
I just think they should know what's going on in their body. I mean, I'm not an athlete, but I mean, they certainly know everything that passes their lips has to go through the dock. So I don't think it is a good look, but Nick Kyrgios certainly does not like it at all.
Yeah, well, good. I'm with them. Don't worry about that. Okay, Shaban, you here for another hour?
I am back with Transfer Tinder a little bit later.
Oh no.
You work hard.
Look forward to hearing your
again.
chat up lines.
Oh, can't wait. 2 minutes to 7 o'clock on talkSPORT.
Would you sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Bryan Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in a team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can. Like I said, I think they're going to bowl well at some times of tomorrow. I think it's just crucial that we do soak up that bit of pressure and then reapply it again. But yeah, I don't see why we can't chase that down.
Very different weather for Chelsea out in Philadelphia. We might be struggling to hack anything above 10 degrees here, but Enzo Maresca says his side are really suffering at the Club World Cup, with temperatures expected to hit almost 38 degrees Celsius there.
It's almost impossible to make or to train, to make session because of the weather. Now we are trying just to save energy for the game. This morning session has been very, very, very short. Has been just about tomorrow game, plan for tomorrow, and that's it.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the Movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talksport.com.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards and enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Alan Brazil Ray Parlour bring a bit of Friday to your Tuesday mornings. On the way for you this morning, England need 350 to win what's been a fantastic first test at Headingley. talkSPORT will keep you updated from 11, and in half an hour we'll begin the build-up with legendary broadcaster David Lloyd. We'll also hear from Australia's all-time try scorer David Campese, with the lines now officially down under. Ray will learn how to surf after we're joined by professional waterboarder Andrew Cotton. And after 9 o'clock, Aussie tennis star Nick Kyrgios is with us in the studio. You won't want to miss that one. Now, though, Manchester United have gone back in for this guy.
Ivan Toney playing the ball into Mbeumo inside the box. He's got a third. Brentford are going crazy here this afternoon.
If Man United come in for Mbeumo and Spurs are in for Mbeumo, where do you think that he goes?
Spurs all day. Manchester United is not the Manchester United of old. We've been seeing it burn from the outside.
Wide to Mbeumo, inside the area, angle against him, left-footed corner, picks up the corner, makes it 2.
I got asked about Mbeumo going to Liverpool early in the season, and I said he's not the level that Liverpool should be trying to buy. Now this season he's stepped up. It's his best season, 20 goals.
It's an interesting one, Ray. It's probably down to money because there's not a lot between United and Spurs at the moment.
No.
Plus, he wouldn't have to move, would he, if he signs for Spurs rather than Manchester United?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what, obviously, Thomas Frank going to Spurs. That's going to be interesting to see how he does at Spurs as well. I mean, straight away, I think Spurs fans are pretty happy with the manager that they've got in, because he's done such a great job at Brentford. With
Did I read today, Eze from Palace? Maybe
Eze, I saw that in the papers as well.
Good player.
Oh, very good, very good. So they're trying to be. What happens with Maddison then? Because is this similar sort of position as Maddison? Is a number 10, isn't he?
Yeah,
sort of in that sort of little creative role. Can they put two together?
Can both central, more central?
Yeah, maybe he has to play a different, or maybe as they come off the left-hand side or something like that.
What about Jack? Did I read Jack? Maybe Newcastle were interested in Jack Grealish.
I haven't seen that.
So I think they'd love him up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, he's 30 years old now, Jack, isn't he? So he does need a move. He needs to play on a regular basis now, because before you know it, Al, you'll be hanging your boots up and saying, well, that's it, my career's over. So you want to play as much as you can towards the end of it, and he's in that age where he can still offer so much for a club that comes in for him. But yeah, Mbeumo, at the moment, that's exactly what Brentford want. They want Spurs to come in now, and it'd be a little bit of a bidding war, maybe get another $5 million out of someone.
They've done brilliant, Brentford.
Well, Brentford have got to have that sort of same philosophy as Brighton. They've got to know their players are going to get bought sooner or later, and maybe move on to bigger clubs, and no disrespect to Brentford, but then they've got to have that backup plan to say, right, if he gets, like Brighton, how many players have Brighton lost over the years?
Yeah, brilliant.
How much money they brought in for their players?
Yeah.
So I think
Tony Bloom's done
unbelievable job,
work.
And they've got people behind the scenes knowing that, right, if he goes, we can bring him in. If he goes, we can bring him in. And they've got a little wanted list of players, and that's what probably Brentford probably have to go down that sort of road as well, because it's hard to stop a player not wanting to go to play. I know, look, Manchester United are not in the Champions League or Europe, but it's still one of the biggest clubs in the world. And it's very hard to turn them down. Old Trafford.
But with Spurs in Europe, that may just...
Spurs in Europe, yeah, absolutely, in the Champions League. So it'd be interesting to see. And at the moment now, with transfers, it's like a game of poker, isn't it? One club wants this for their player, and the club that wants the player are offering this, and usually he ends up in the middle, roughly where people panic. But in an ideal world, the managers want the players in as early as they can.
Which is now.
Well, come up first day of pre-season.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we've got the Club World Cup at the moment and all that sort of stuff with Man City and Chelsea. But the players, when they go back to training, you've got that 6-week period to get fit and know your teammates, get to know what sort of role you're going to play in the team. And so, the managers want it done quick, but it doesn't work like that. Contracts now are so much different to my era and your era, where you used to say, right, yeah, there we go. Now there's all clauses in it. You got this, you got that, you got this, and everybody's got to try and agree. And especially sell-on clauses now. A lot of players get that in their contracts now, don't they?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see. It will liven up. I'm sure it will liven up. There'll be one movement here, go there, and then suddenly it's like a domino effect, and people start buying players.
talkSPORT understands United have improved their offer for Mbeumo, a package worth in excess of 60 million. Talks have accelerated in the past 24 hours and will continue this week. United have already agreed personal terms with Mbeumo on a contract worth around 250 grand a week.
Oh, nice.
Imagine that, $1 million a month. Oh, hello.
How was it?
John is now for all the very latest talkSPORT reporter, Ollie Klink. Ollie, good morning.
Morning, Ollie.
Morning, guys. I can't imagine what you boys would do with $1 million a month. I don't want to know, to be honest.
Invest it well, Ollie. That's what we would do.
yeah, I'm sure you would.
Probably not 10 years off my life, Ollie, to be honest.
That's unsurprising, Al, to be honest. But we were the first to break that story last night about the package worth in excess of 60 million. I heard you guys just there talking about Tottenham's interest in him. We've always reported they were a bit of a red herring because Mbeumo always said to Brentford that his preference was to join Manchester United. That was over reuniting with Thomas Frank at
before
Tottenham,
the European place or not?
Yeah, before that too. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you mentioned it there. 250 grand a week has got to be a huge sway in that. Is there any sense for you that they're they're overpaying on those personal terms. Because I do remember Sir Jim Ratcliffe saying they wanted to move away from that a bit, Manchester United. They want to move away from paying their players such significant wages. But, I mean, that is a hefty amount for Brian Mbeumo.
Well, everyone does, don't they? Everyone wants to move away from it. But if you want the best, you got to take a chance and pay the best.
Well, the agents know exactly what other players are on, and they're trying to do the best for their client, aren't they? So they're always going to try and squeeze. And if Manchester United are really desperate to get him in, then they will pay the money, and that's how it works. In Spurs, could they pay $250 a week as well? I don't know.
Yeah, it could do. Ollie, where do you think he goes?
I think he will end up at Manchester United, like you said just there. The talks are accelerating. They're going to carry on this week too. I mean, that would be another 120 odd million splashed out if you add that to Cunha, who was 62.5 million. I think, though, the difference this summer with their business, Manchester United, is last time when they were backing Ten Hag, there was a lot of players that weren't Premier League proven, players like Xerxes, like De Ligt. But this time around, they're getting in Cunha, who got 15 goals last season. They're getting in Mbeumo, who got 20 Premier League goals last season. So maybe they can be encouraged by the fact that these players know what they're doing in the Premier League. They know what it's about.
What about Eze? I touched on him earlier with Ray. It looks like Palace might just cash in on Eze. Could he be going to Tottenham?
Yeah, there's definite interest from Tottenham, especially after the fact that Mbeumo might be moving to Manchester United now. It might depend, though, on the situation with Mark Gahey, because we understand that Gahey has no plans to sign a new deal at Palace. So if Gahey decides to run down that final year, it might be that Palace are then tempted to cash in on Eze. If Spurs do get a deal done, they'd want to pay his release clause, which is about 60 million in instalments as well. But, I mean, Eze, brilliant player. England international, 8 Premier League goals last season. He scored the winner in the FA Cup final too. He's definitely got some suitors, but there's definite interest from Tottenham there.
Any other big ones coming up, Ollie? I know it's, as I said before to Al, it's like a game of poker at the moment. There's interest everywhere, but everybody trying to get the most they can. The clubs are selling, and obviously the buyers are trying to get a good deal. So I can see a lot of movement towards the end of it, the window. Usually it happens like that. But any other rumours going around?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, some clubs got quite busy, didn't they, just before that mini deadline. City have already done a lot of business. Liverpool as well have been very busy, and they've brought in some brilliant players. And actually, it's contract situations that are making this window quite interesting. With Ibrahima Konate at Liverpool, we understand there's still no agreement close in terms of a new deal for him. He's got 1 year left, so he might run that down. We understand he might want a higher basic wage. He's on around 70,000 a week at the moment. Oof. I guess the question is, can they afford Liverpool to let another player run down their contract like Trent did?
And 70 grand in today's market for a champion like Konate and Liverpool, 70 grand's nothing.
Yeah,
exactly. So it looks like they're going to be letting Jarrell Quansah go to Leverkusen as well, Liverpool. So if they do decide to sell Konate, it might mean that they're going to need to bring in some reinforcements.
You've got to remember as well, when people's contracts are up now, January you can do a deal. So come January, he can now sign for someone else. He's still at Liverpool till, and then and a little bit like back in the day with Sol Campbell, wasn't it? He was the highest paid player probably in Arsenal because Arsenal saved 15 million by not buying him. So and all these guys are being exactly the same. They'll be going, well, what am I worth on the market? Gay, who mentions big money, isn't he? He'd be worth quite a lot of money on the market. So he'd be getting that in his contract instead. So look, the players are in a great position at the moment, and they can just see their contracts out and walk away.
Ollie, keep us in touch, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up, so the Formula One movie Red Carpet was last night, but with so much going on around the sport with the documentary as well. Are the races, is that the worst thing about the sport? I don't think so. I enjoy it now, I really do. But again, it's domination at the top. We'll discuss that next.
Today I'm gonna be the Ray that has a cobra bomb or two.
Ray, you want to be careful, mate.
Oh,
you get done for copyright. You never know who's listening.
Don't worry, Al, because after all, I'm an invincible.
Yeah, any more of that, mate, and the lawyers will be getting involved.
Oh, sorry, no.
Remember that show we used to do? It was good fun. Pub Talk.
Yeah.
It was right good.
I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah, Rocket was doing it with us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And it was on Soccer AM back in the day. But that was always good fun, wasn't it? We had some great guests in.
Great.
And Noel was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah.
When he come on there.
Yeah. Tyson,
yeah.
Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, we had loads, didn't we? We had some really good guests. Merce was on there with us, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
We had Baddy.
Yeah, the cage fighter.
Yeah.
Paddy the Baddie.
Paddy the Baddie. He was blinding, wasn't he?
He was brilliant. His last
fantastic.
Fight, one of my girls was saying.
Yeah, really good. So, no, it was a good little show, that was.
Okay, talkSPORT breakfast. Brazil and former Hull City midfielder Ray Parlour. Now, the reunion of the century is just around the corner. We're giving you a chance to win a pair of Oasis tickets. Oh, yes. In Manchester as well on July 19. Yeah, you heard that right. Oasis Live 25 is sold out, but talkSPORT can get you in. That's not all. Alongside the tickets, we'll put you up for the night in the hotel and put $5,000. Oh, happy days in your back pocket, completely tax-free. Listen up right now for everything you need to know, and this is how you enter.
Alright, kid, you have to be over 18 to enter in the UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay and $5,000 spending money, all you gotta do is text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m. and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Sorted. Right, here's all the legal stuff. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You've got to have the bill payer's permission or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, P.O. Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 8GP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
That's worth a couple of quid of that.
What's happened to Andy Goldstein doing all the? He was doing. Mike Graham was doing it, wasn't he?
I know.
Announcing it.
Yeah.
Was that trip? Was it that prize or was it something else?
No, that was it.
Was that prize?
Glastonbury's just around the corner.
Yeah. Do you know I follow a lot on there? He makes me laugh. Is Ricky Hatton. He's always on a stag do, isn't he, Ricky? And he was singing one of the Oasis songs the other day on the stag do. He was brilliant. Yeah. And he's a right laugh, isn't he? You can tell. He's a person you like to go out with, Al. Definite.
Okay, no, I've been told that. 7:22, Shaban is back. Right, Shaban, what have you got for us?
Have you got home yet, Shaban?
Not yet, Ray. Stop trying to get rid of me. Still too early. Talk to me about your next date night. Fancy a little cinema trip? Maybe with wives?
Do you know, I've not been cinema for such a long time.
Well, I know that they would be up for this movie starring Brad Pitt. The F1 movie launched last night. It had its premiere in London's West End. Yep. Brad Pitt plays a washed-up F1 driver.
I think he's brilliant, Brad Pitt.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Honestly, he doesn't even have to act, and he's great. He returns from retirement to mentor a hotshot rookie. So that's the kind of story of the movie. As part of the F1 movie, Lewis Hamilton helped Brad Pitt learn the ropes behind the wheel of an F1 car. They went big time on this. It's out very soon. Was he a good teacher, our Lewis Hamilton? Here's Brad Pitt.
He's so kind, he got in the car with me and was like, I'm just, it's got to be frustrating for him. And yet he was just he's so kind and so giving from beginning to the end of the film.
So, yeah.
Who are all these people out there? Are they just punters milling around behind them?
They would be like
they've been invited, didn't they?
Red carpet guests. Yeah.
You've been invited loads of times, haven't you? To the red carpet.
Well, yeah, but
you don't bother, do you? It's no good for you, is it?
Not your vibe. His knees are sore.
Huh?
Can't his knees.
Not even before my body was right. It just wasn't for me. It was boring.
You a Brad Pitt fan?
Very much so. Oh, the Oceans series was great.
So good. Have you seen that new one with George Clooney? Brad and George Clooney, kind of Oceansy vibes.
No, I haven't yet.
Wolf should like that.
Do you know who I think's good? Tom Cruise. I think he's very good. I spoke to him once He was a lovely guy to speak to.
Yeah, he's very captivating, isn't he? When you remember that clip of him when COVID happened and he was screaming at the cast. Do you remember that? That's wild. That was in Top Gun, wasn't it?
I tell you what, I'm watching again. This city belongs to us. About Liverpool, and I can't stop watching it. It's brilliant.
I've seen that.
Is that about gangsters?
Gangsters, drugs, and all that. It's not ideal for youngsters to watch, but if you watch it later on, it's fantastic. It's very, very good.
Well, you will like this new movie.
Brutal.
Okay, good to know. Hans Zimmer was on the red carpet last night speaking to our John Jackson. So he's done the score in the movie, and he spoke about seeing Lewis Hamilton on set of the movie. Here you go.
We know Lewis loves his music. Was there any pressure from him to maybe get one of his creations on the soundtrack? And
no, there was just like that. I never pressured him that I would drive the car. He never pressured me to write some music. But there was a lot of conversation going on and a lot of me digging into him.
Yeah. Are you planning on working together in the future then?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it, so we have some ideas.
I think he's had his ears too much, too many headphones on. Every time they're asking him a question, he's going closer and closer. What?
It's so loud. Red carpets are so loud and everyone's just screaming at them. Hands, come and talk to us. Do you feel at the moment there's more focus around like the F1 movie and Drive to Survive than there is around F1? Or around the races?
No. F1's still massive. Still massive. I must admit, I like it when it's close, on the grid. I don't want to see the greatest. I don't want to see Max win every race. I don't want to see Red Bull dominate like they have done. And now it's interesting. I really, but just look at the crowds they get. It's fantastic.
Who's leading it in a moment?
It's
the other guy.
Piastri. Piastri and
Lando Norris. Yeah.
And also George Russell's having a good season as well. And Max is still there, so it's interesting now.
Do you know what's interesting? The Drive to Survive movie series brought in 26% more women who had never had any interest in F1 before. So we're wondering if it would maybe spice things up a bit if a woman got a seat in F1. And actually we were looking at the statistics, and apparently women are now better drivers than men by 61%. Guys, don't hate the stats.
You're doing so well, Shaban.
Well, there's no reversing Silverstone, is there? There is no reversing.
61%.
Away you go.
Studies show that women have fewer accidents per mile driven.
Yeah. How many did it cause?
Men being 61% more likely to have an accident.
Oh, really?
So have some of that.
I'm not arguing.
If we see more women in F1,
what happens when you're at home then?
Have you seen the Sainsbury's car?
I'm a good driver. Never had a problem.
Who gets behind the wheel, Jamie or you?
Jamie gives me the keys because he knows I'm a better driver.
He wants a couple of pints. I'll drive there, you drive back.
I'm not too sure about that.
Oh, come on, Ray.
Well, have you seen the Sainsbury's car park? It's like Dodgems, Al.
Oh.
You two are at it. Dodgems. When was the last time you had a little, shouldn't have gone that far back, or a wee bump, a wee scrape of the car?
Why new cars have got sensors in them?
Bet you've done your wheels 100 times and blamed Jill. That's what Jamie does. He goes, done those wheels.
No. My car's spotless until people borrow.
Well, you can't, if you're driving around London anyway, you can only go 20 mile an hour anyway, can't you?
Oh, that's a joke.
I'm for it. That's where women are. We're better drivers.
Oh, you're having a laugh. I can always tell, who's that idiot up there? What's going on? And I know exactly who it is. We're breaking 7:28.
Would you sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brian Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in a team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. Expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the Movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talksport.com.
Apologise to Shaban now.
No.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast.
Any more questions though?
With Arnold Clark, build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. Ray Parlour alongside me. Now, yesterday on the breakfast show, Shaban and Troy were joined by none other than Piers Morgan. Piers was up to his usual tricks by controversially, dividing opinion. Well, that's Piers. Piers decided to put together his all-time world 11 and left out a certain Lionel Messi. Take a listen to this.
He's not even the best Argentinian of all time. I mean, Maradona is clearly a much better player. And the reason I'll say that is you read out a lot of stats for where did Messi win all his stats, really, win all his trophies. The meaningful ones he won only at one club, Barcelona. Yeah. The moment he was out of his comfort zone, the moment he didn't have Xavi and Iniesta and Thierry Henry and Ronaldinho and Ronaldo around him and all these other superstars, which he had the entire time, he was never the same player.
Speaking of Messi, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday. He's 38. Great player.
Oh, he's got to be on anybody's side, isn't he? Sure.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Maradona. Oh, we were talking this other day. Maradona, when he played, the game was more violent. There was tackling from the side, from behind, a lot higher above the knee. A lot like the great Pelé. You know, what he put up with, and the pitches were garbage, especially in Pelé's day. George Best, we mentioned, one of the greatest ever.
Of course,
he played in mud and took challenges waist high.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult
different game.
It really is. Don't get me wrong, Maradona was brilliant, no doubt about it. But Messi's brilliant as well.
Maradona was unbelievable. But Messi, I think when he won that World Cup, you see the Argentine fans really all over him, weren't they? Because he had that spell where he didn't really get on when he went back to play for the national side. But that World Cup win, you felt like he really wanted that badly.
It's a really difficult one, of all-time world 11. You could get 10 people in the room and it'll all be so different.
Piers, I love Piers, but he loves Ronaldo, doesn't he? He always says Ronaldo's the best player.
Well,
Look, it's all about.
Ronaldo is special.
Oh, absolutely. But it's all about opinions, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't mean he's right. It doesn't mean he's wrong.
Yeah.
If he was manager, he wouldn't have him in his side. If I was manager, I would have him in my side. Simple as that, really.
Now, time for a bit of cricket. This epic first Test match. England-India heads into its 5th and final day. It's been great so far. With all 4 results possible, England need 350 more runs to win. Is it possible? Well, India need 10 wickets, and with some rain on the forecast, who knows what's in store for us today. I'd back now the draw. I would. One man who remains confident is England fast bowler Josh Tong, who spoke about making history when asked if England will go for the win or just settle for a draw.
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can. Like I said, I think they're going to bowl well at some times of tomorrow. I think it's just crucial that we do soak up that bit of pressure and then reapply it again. But yeah, I don't see why we can't chase that down.
And when I say a draw, I think the weather can play a part.
Yeah,
but
a little
look,
bit.
We're down in London. Let's look ahead to a fascinating day 5 in front of us. Let's say a very good morning to former England player and coach David Lloyd. David, morning. What a series so far. Brilliant,
morning, David.
Yeah, morning, fellas. I'm looking at the weather as well. It's just showering at the minute, and the forecast up at Leeds. I'm up here. I'm up in North Yorkshire, and the forecast is for showers during the day. I hope it just stays away. Ben Stokes says we don't do draws, so that the game is on for both teams. And I think the weather is going to be crucial, because when you get to Headingley, they always said, look up at the skies, don't look down at the pitch. And so Bumrah, who's the best bowler in the world, will have a say in this game, but England will go for it, make no mistake.
By the way, Bumrah, he's so elegant, and the way he just flicks that, that wrist just as he releases the ball, he's very special, David.
He's a wonderful bowler. He's probably the best bowler in the world, and he's rapid. Let me tell you, he's 90 mile an hour consistently, and he's got a run-up like a Federation of London Boys Club bowler. He doesn't have a run-up at all. It's just all the business end is when he gets to the crease and he fires it down. He's a real handful.
And Josh Tongue had a good day. We just heard from him there, and he's saying that we're going to try and win. But he took 3 wickets and bowled really well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think the pitch is fantastic. It's a brilliant test match pitch. The sun's shone most of the time. And if you're a batter, you can get 100, as we've seen. If you bend your back as a quick bowler, you're going to get it through. I think it's been a fabulous pitch. And that inexperienced bowling attack, and England will mix and match throughout this series. They're trying to get Jofra Archer fit. He's just playing for Sussex at the minute, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he features in this next Test match.
Took his first red ball for 4 years.
And Cars, they've done all right.
Yeah, I just read this morning he took his first red ball with a wicket with a red ball in the first time in, is it 4 seasons, something like that?
Yeah, first time in 4 years.
Yeah, wow. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, it is, but he's had these injuries, but they're trying to get him back for this series with a view to playing in the Ashes.
What about, who are you looking to today, David? Who's going to lead this fight back?
Right, the first hour. The first hour will tell you which way this game is going. I think last night, that sort of half an hour, that is an absolute killer. To go out as an opening batter for half an hour, you're not looking at the board, you're looking at the clock, and they come through unscathed. Now, if they can do that again, these openers, if they can get going, and Duckett does get going, and Crawley has been shorter runs, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he gets some today. That first hour will tell you which way it's going.
Yeah. So the pressure on Zach, because you say Duckett's been fine, hasn't he?
He has. He looks a wonderful player, Ducky. Don't leave it. In the history of the game, he's the player who leaves the ball least. I think he leaves 2.5%, something like that. In the history of the game, he just doesn't leave it. And so I think from England's viewpoint, when I said they're going to go for it, they will push India, and they've got a very inexperienced captain, and they'll try and get him at 6s and 7s that he doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah. Sorry, Ray, just one quick one.
Yeah.
So when the England batsmen take to the field this morning, what are they thinking? Just, be patient. Don't take any risks early on.
You know, I don't think they do that. I think they will be thinking in the changing room, the whole lot of them, get on top of this attack, get right on top of them, don't let them settle and disturb their captain. That's the way that they'll go. The other thing that you're always saying is build partnerships, which means don't get out.
Yeah.
Just build your partnerships and put pressure on. Make India move away from 4 slips to 1 slips, and they've got to defend.
David, I've got to ask you, India, obviously a new look team now. Do you class them as still one of the best in the world? Because, you know, we've had Kohli now and Sharma and people like that who's retired. You know, but it's a new look Indian side. And do you still rate them one of the best in the world?
Yeah, I do as a batting unit, but they're so dependent on Bumrah. When Bumrah goes out to the attack, it's a much easier game for batters. And so, you know, they probably need to find, if they've got somebody who's injured, a couple of bowlers who can supplement Bumrah and take wickets, because they've not been able to apply much pressure when Bumrah's not in the attack. But just watch Jadeja as well today. He's 36-year-old. He's a fantastic all-rounder, left-arm spinner, and the pitch was just starting to take a little bit of spin. He could be a handful.
So we're talking about showers as a forecast, not prolonged spells.
Yeah, and you can miss them at Headingley. You can miss showers. And I've been down there a couple of days and they've been saying all the showers, and we've missed them completely. And then we had one which was a bit of a downpour for half an hour. But the drainage is fabulous. It just goes straight through. And when I'm going to take you, when you were talking about football and Lionel Messi, and you mentioned George Best, I played with George Best. I played football with George Best.
Where was that?
At Blackpool, the club was called Summit Windows. Summit Windows. We had it on the front with they sponsored us, and it was full of it was just a mud patch. And Alan Ball were playing as well. You know Alan Ball?
Brilliant player, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, we were a good side, Summit Windows.
All right, okay.
Oh.
Where did you play? Where did you play, Bumble?
At what position?
Yeah.
I think Brian Robson, Roy Keane, think that sort of player.
Whoa, hold on a minute. We're talking about a superstar. Bumble. Whoa.
Central midfield, pulling all the strings, eh, Dave?
Good engine, sweet left foot.
I think you should get the ball in hand today and have a go at a few overs. That's unbelievable. He was the best. He was well. Pat Crennan told me. It's the clues in the surname. He was the best in the world. That's what he said. The best.
He was for me. He was brilliant. And our manager was sat in the dressing room, and I said, "What's the tactics? What's the plan, boss, today?" He says, "If you ever get it, just give it to George."
David, enjoy today. It should be a cracker. Thank you.
Cheers, David.
See you, lads.
David Lloyd there you go. You learn something every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget, if you're listening abroad, you can hear live ball-by-ball commentary of the entire England series on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. So make sure you head over there and subscribe. Still to come on talkSPORT Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. From excavators to skips or cement mixers to pressure washers, Travis Perkins Hire has all your landscaping needs covered.
Now, we have a blockbuster rest of the show on the way for you. You don't want to miss any of it. Superstar tennis player Nick Kyrgios will join the show ahead of Wimbledon, which starts next week. I tell you, I know there's no football. Well, there is football on the Club World Cup, but there's still great sports, isn't it? This country is brilliant in the summer. Australian rugby all-time leading try scorer, top man David Campese, will join us to look ahead to the Lions tour and tell us why he was not impressed with Captain Itoje in the opener. And plumber turned professional surfer will teach us how to work. He won't teach me. He'll teach Ray how to surf. Don't miss that. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. It's easy to hire at Travis Perkins with a Travis Perkins trade account.
2.
Golden years go. Golden years go. Golden years go.
There's a class act, David Bowie. Oh, magic. He was fantastic, Bowie. Fantastic. talkSPORT Breakfast. Ray Parlour with me. Why are we playing Golden Years by the late, great David Bowie? A song about retirement. Oh, really? Well, a headline was spotted in the Sun this morning. Gen Z in Nan Snub. Young adults are avoiding their grandparents. Oh, for God's sake, what's going on now? As they don't know what to talk to them about, a poll is found. Huh? Does that surprise you, Ray? It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, the old day stories are much better than the current day stories.
Unbelievable.
You know, look, going back a few years, I think it's quite interesting to see how they grew up and all that, your grandparents, and I'm surprised with that a little bit.
A quarter age, 18 to 34, talk to Nan and Grandad, or Ging-gong, and my grandkids call me.
Ging-gong.
Less than once a month because of awkward silence fears. I'm not having that.
No, I can't see that. You must have a chat with your grandchildren all the time.
Every week.
Yeah, exactly. They say whatever their interests are, getting on at school.
Weekend.
You know, they play football. I think one of them, your oldest granddaughter plays football, doesn't she? So how you getting on at football? What you learn this week?
Cheerleadings.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too sure about that, Al. Look, there may be. It does get a lot of kids now. They don't communicate with each other, do they? They're always on their phones.
Tablets.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, they're playing games. They communicate with on their.
But are they educating themselves, Ray? Or are they? As far as I'm concerned, there's no common sense in that. You might learn stats, but it can't be good for you just doing that.
You can't beat a conversation with someone, you know, face to face and whatever. Down the pub having a conversation, it's no good.
And I think it's a bit like
people look at social media stuff now too much.
And I'm old fashioned. Don't get me wrong, but I still think people that do work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not Monday, Friday, how are they going to learn about things? I can't work.
It's a little bit like dating sites.
Can you ask someone older, experienced, say, "Can you help me with this?"
Yeah, exactly. Who's been there and done it. So it's a little bit like dating sites. What's the old days when no one had dating sites, did they? You go out in a pub, you go here, you meet people, and have a chat with them. Now it's all set up for you. You don't.
I know. it's mad. 7:51. Time now for this.
Stick a load of singles in there and then they fall in love.
Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers, you will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Hello, oh, what's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise, fuck, you're up for it, aren't you?
I was in love at the time, that's what I was doing.
At the time?
Who is the moose? Is that the moose there?
It was the moose,
It was the moose.
It was the moose. You're up for it. Oh, you're up for it. 7:52, the school teacher's back.
Hello, yes, good morning.
You like this? You come in there with a smile on your face the first time this morning.
Just the amount of people who I know who are on Tinder, who are on the apps looking for love, and then, as you mentioned there...
Tell me, get out more.
All the youngsters, they're all on their phones, their tablets, people in this day and age.
Do your children... How old are your little ones now?
They're not on Tinder.
they like their little...
No, they're 5, but I mean...
They like their little...
If he gets the TV time, you lose him to it. It is like, come on, Brooks, we need to put that down. And he'd walk into walls and everything. You know, he's miles off it, bless his heart. Her, not so much. But that's
Kicking
the
a ball yet?
Yeah, great
Good.
left foot.
Oh, very good.
Great
left foot as well.
Jamie left footer?
No. Right-footed, isn't he?
Where's he getting that from?
I don't know. It's the daughter. She's left-footed. Don't know. She's got a pure wand.
Brilliant.
She looks good. Anyway, because you two are, married and committed to the love of your lives, we want your chat-up lines. Ray, let's role play. We're in the Diamond Lounge. That's the place at Arsenal, right? Diamond Club, not the lounge. That's the other one. See me at the bar. I'm doing Cobra bombs. You're single. I'm single.
2 more over here, please.
Hit me up. What's your lines?
No, I'll just be normal, really. How are you? Really nice to meet you. What are you doing later? Do you fancy a couple of more drinks somewhere else? Would you rather go to a better place than this?
You little fibber. You wouldn't
No,
say
but
that.
you can't just ask me.
I've seen you try to chat someone up.
Or you try and be nice and friendly and just say at the end of it, oh, well, maybe we can go out another time and let's have your number.
No, but what's the instant line? You know, what do you offer these young men who are
it's too rude.
nervous to talk there?
I think you just got to be yourself, haven't you?
Hello, love. They're not as good as the Invincible side, are they?
What? No, you don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
It's the Diamond Club.
Yeah, I remember taking my missus out, and I think we ended up in Dover Street Wine Bar. She got in about 7 a.m.
Love her for that.
So that was a
You
start
knew she
of
was
it.
the one.
And she drank more than me.
No, we made a pact. We made a pact in Shenfield.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
No more.
What are you talking? What have you made a pact about?
No.
We got.
Did you get in trouble?
It's a TV character.
From
It's called
Sue
someone.
Ellen?
No.
Say that word.
I'm so sorry.
We got a major telling.
Did you? I love that she had you skilled
Yeah, no, it's
for that.
good. It's funny. But, no, I think it's just I should be yourself, haven't you?
She had a right pot. My mum and dad are outraged. That's just what
Are you
Ellie.
in trouble with the wife?
What Ellie and Jock? That was the. Stop it.
Right, okay, let's get to transfer Tinder. As you know, you swipe right if you think it's a match with this player to a club.
You got to hurry up. We're nearly breaking.
Left if you want to pass. Bradley Barcola to Arsenal, s'il vous plaît, age 22. Van Dua. Currently with the champions in the City of Love at Paris Saint-Germain, but he's feeling a little bit out of favour. He's not feeling loved by the manager, who has a bit of a glint in his eye for Kvaratskhelia. We don't really blame him for that. Ray.
He's a good player. Who's
Bradley Barcola.
No, who's the last man?
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's not linked to Arsenal.
No,
he's
he's good.
firmly at PSG. But would you see
on that left hand side, isn't he? He plays.
Oh right, I know you mean that.
Where's he from? Where's he from?
He's not Azerbaijan.
Yeah, somewhere like that. And he shocks round.
Yeah.
But he tracks back.
Yeah.
There was 5-0 up the other day in the final, and he tracked back and tackling and a brilliant player.
Yeah. He's Hungarian. Is it Hungarian?
Where's he playing?
He's not
Where's he playing?
No.
Barcola, he's a winger, but he's versatile.
Well,
he
you
can
definitely
play
need a
both
winger.
sides.
Arsenal definitely need a winger.
Would it be an upgrade on
centre
Martinelli?
forward. Everyone's forgetting you need a number 9.
That is the prime position you need. You need a centre midfielder that they've got. I think they've got Zubamendi, hopefully, if he does go there. And then you've got strikers definitely you need, whether they're going to get that. And a winger. No, definitely need a winger because Saka was out for Piers last season and they didn't really. That's where they probably lost it when he was out injured. So they might need a bit of backup. So yeah, I'll take him.
You swiping right?
Yeah.
It's a match.
I'm not sure. Move on.
By the way, Kvaratskhelia is from Georgia. My bad, he's from Georgia.
Right.
How do you feel about Gareth Bale to Cardiff? Because
love it.
over the weekend he was linked to Plymouth Argyle, perhaps maybe an ownership.
He's denied that.
Denied that. He says it's all rumour, doesn't know where it's come from. But would you like to see him part of an ownership?
Absolutely.
I think he's got all the. He wants to do well for the club, and he wants to get the club back into the Premier League. You know, he's a Cardiff boy through and through, and he'll do the best he can in his consortium.
Aaron Ramsey might be.
I think Aaron Ramsey definitely will be involved as well. I should imagine, but I think it's a brilliant move, and I think
he doesn't want him in the dugout. He'd be just like to try and restore a Cardiff to.
But what he's done in his career, Gareth, I mean, he's brilliant. He'd be well respected anywhere where he went, wouldn't he? And people would want to play for Cardiff if he's involved. And they look at the future. It's like, a little bit like Wrexham, if you like. But obviously they're starting a different. They're starting in the Championship, which is a lot different to. No, they went down last year, didn't they? Or did they go?
No, they went. Wrexham went up.
No, Cardiff.
Cardiff went down.
Yeah,
didn't
so. I think
they went down. They got relegated, didn't they?
I think they got relegated. They did get relegated. They did get relegated.
They did, yeah.
So now they've got to start again. League One.
The last game. It might have been the last game.
Yeah, League One.
I know over it.
And I think he's been brilliant for the club.
So it's a match.
Well, maybe it's a great time to take over as well.
All day long. That Vincent Tan don't really want to be there anyway, does he?
One more quickly. Come on,
okay. Aaron Ramsdale to Rangers, age 27, 6'2". The heartbreak from Arsenal rejection. Then he went to Southampton, and then that ended up in relegation. Could he go up the road for love with the manager Russell Martin, who brought him to Southampton? Left or right?
I think he's got to stay in the Premier League. So I'll say no. I think he's got too much to offer. I know. I'm not knocking. I know Rangers and Celtic are massive.
Keeping at the moment.
Well, didn't Butland have a bit of an issue towards the end of last season?
I don't see why. I thought he's been good for the Rangers.
He had a very, very good spell, that's for sure. I know Ali McCoy was very impressed with him. Rangers, could they afford $100,000 a week of Aaron Ramsdale, though? That is something he would maybe have to consider taking a pay cut for love.
I think he stays in the Premier League, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Left.
You know the answer is I don't care.
Right, there you go. That's the spirit.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it next year. Rangers Celtic. It could be interesting.
Oh, will it? 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. I've got loads of text and emails. Your fixtures are murder. We're going to win it. We're catching it. Yeah, all right.
What price is Celtic next year?
I don't know, but
they'll be big favourites.
Save your money, mate. You don't want to be back, Rangers. Coming up, Palace fans were rightly on cloud nine after an incredible season winning the FA Cup. But could they look very different next season? We'll discuss that one next.
Would you sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brian Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in the team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. Expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can. Like I said, I think they're going to bowl well at some times of tomorrow. I think it's just crucial that we do soak up that bit of pressure and then reapply it again. But yeah, I don't see why we can't chase that down.
Very different weather for Chelsea out in Philadelphia. We might be struggling to hack anything above 10 degrees here, but Enzo Maresca says his side are really suffering at the Club World Cup, with temperatures expected to hit almost 38 degrees Celsius there.
It's almost impossible to make or to train. To make session because of the weather. Now we are trying just to save energy for the game. This morning session has been very, very, very short. Has been just about tomorrow game, plan for tomorrow, and that's it.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the Movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talksport.com.
Breaking news on talkSPORT.
Good morning. Coming up 8:05 on the Sports Breakfast. Right, with some breaking news here. You heard the news there. Let's head straight to talkSPORT supporter Ollie Klink.
Yes, we can bring you the news that Keith Andrews has agreed to become Brentford's new manager. That's what we understand. He'll be taking over, of course, from Thomas Frank, who has gone to Tottenham Hotspur. Keith Andrews has been the set-piece coach at Brentford since July 2024. It will be his first managerial role as well. He's still sorting out his backroom team. It's thought that Damien Duff, the former Chelsea and Newcastle winger, might be part of it. He's quit Shelburne at the Irish team as boss. He's leaving them as champions to potentially join up with his former Republic of Ireland teammate Andrews. So the breaking news this morning is that Keith Andrews has agreed to become Brentford's new manager.
Brilliant, Ollie. Thank you very much. Now, I don't know much about Keith. I've definitely watched him on Sky Sports Saturday.
He's been assistant, isn't he?
Yeah.
Manager to, I think it was at MK Dons for a while. And then he went to Sheffield United, didn't he, under Chris Wilder?
That'd be a big step.
Oh, absolutely. But it's
I wish him well.
He's a gamble, of
don't
course.
get me wrong.
Let's hope he can do well.
Yeah.
Damien Duff, obviously, he's got a lot of knowledge. Good player back in the day, wasn't he? Probably played with each other in the Republic of Ireland team, so he knows each other. So they might be out of bounds off each other. And he's a bit of a gamble, but, you know, Thomas Frank, when he got the job,
Yeah,
when he thought, you know, I was surprised Thomas Frank got it.
And you got to start somewhere.
Exactly. You know, how do you get experience? How do you get experience when you don't get an opportunity? I think John Terry came out with that, didn't he? He said, well, where can I get experience when no one gives me a chance to try and earn experience? So I wish him good luck.
Do you think the first thing Keith's got to do is try and keep Mbeumo?
Well, I think that he's going, whatever happens now. I mean, what they've got to do now...
You lose your best player,
of course you are, but there's other players, as Brighton have done. I mentioned it earlier in the show. I said, is that when you do get one of your best players leaving, you've got to have a little bit of have a look and say, right, what's the backup? Who we can bring in and make him an even better player, and maybe he moves on in 3 or 4 years' time. That's how Brighton works. So I think Brentford have got to be similar, haven't they?
Well, I wonder what sort of reaction we're going to get. We just had that news. So Keith Andrews has agreed to be the new Brentford manager. What do the fans think? Well, we asked Billy Grant, Brentford fan and podcaster, what he thinks of the appointment.
I've got no idea. I've literally got no idea about him. I know a lot about Brentford. I know a lot of people at Brentford. I speak to a lot of people at Brentford from the top down to the bottom. But Keith has almost like never been mentioned at all. So if you ask me anything about him, I've got no idea other than he's our set piece coach. Okay, I remember him when he was on Sky, and I remember when he was at Sky. Actually, I thought he's quite good. I quite like him. He's quite analytical. He talks about the game very well. He's obviously done his coaching, but I've got no idea about him. But I think what is interesting is that Brentford do know him. He's been in the camp. He's been in the camp for 2 or 3 years. And they know a lot about him, more about him than I know. And the fact is that if they're actually even considering putting him into that job, right? Because I mean, they do really highly regard their position in the Premier League. They wouldn't do it unless they actually thought that he actually kind of was half decent.
Well, the other story is Manchester United have bid an improved offer of over 60 million from Mbeumo. So it looks as if he's on his way, doesn't it? But listen, as I say it again, I don't know much about Keith. Well, it's his first job, so it's one hell of a job.
Again, he must have done something right when he was the coach for set plays, because people have looked at him, his enthusiasm and whatever he's done. Someone from upstairs has gone, oh, look, he's doing a great job at what he's doing. And give him a chance. Who knows? He could be really good.
Also, Damien Duff's played under some great managers.
He has, yeah.
So he can bring a lot of experience, can help him be a bit close
and
number
he's top
2.
player back in the day as well. So, look, good luck to him. That's all you can say. Brentford, there'd be... Obviously, Brentford fans will be a little bit worried because he's got no experience, as we've mentioned, but he might do a great job, and suddenly you go, wow, what a... And they've got good money for Thomas Frank, probably. The package they've got for Spurs probably had to pay big money to get him over. And now they've got to rebuild, and Brentford, they had a good season last year. Will they come the same similar sort of season? I doubt it. Probably a little bit less.
Well,
especially if they lose a Burma.
If all they can get is their opening 6 games, we'll have a little evaluate where we think they could be after 6. Brentford fans, if you want to have your say, listen, we're not being negative.
Natalie Sawyer.
Yeah, we're not being negative here. Give us a call, 03717 22 3344. Keith Andrews, the right man to follow Thomas Frank. Let us hear from you. Now, though, Palace are still flying high a month after this.
The 10 minutes are up, and the Eagles have landed it. Crystal Palace win the FA Cup for the very first time.
With football clubs, you don't get divorced and find another one. There's no swipe left or right. You stay with them. And this is the reason. Wembley today.
Oh, just catching my breath. This is so magical. It's beyond words.
What about Eze as well, though? Because it's history maker.
You know what? The amount of pints I've had, I wish I could remember his goal.
It's a great reward, not only for the club itself and all its players. I mean, they're the ones who I suppose are at the forefront of any rewards that are going. But I would also say it's a great reward for the support.
Nobody will ever take 17th of May 2025 away from Palace. But what about the players that provide it? talkSPORT understands England defender Mark Gay will not be signing a new contract at Selhurst. Well, Eze, we believe, is a top target for Tottenham Hotspur. Meanwhile, at the top of the club, talkSPORT understands New York Jets owner Woody Johnson has reached an agreement with John Textor to buy shares in Palace in a major boost for their hopes of being in the Europa League. John is now for more former Palace captain and ex-first team coach Sean Derry. Sean, a very good morning, Sean.
Morning, Sean.
Morning, Al. Morning, Cass. How are you both?
Very, very good.
Cass, Ray.
That's right. Yes,
I do sound like him.
Ray, sorry.
I do sound like him.
Sorry, Ray. Morning, Ray.
Sean, what about just that news coming out of Brentford there? Brentford. Keith Andrews. What do you know much more about Keith? Ray and I know a little bit, but not a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I've met him a few times actually in the last few years. Come up against him for Brentford when I was at Wolves as well. So, yeah, no, Keith. He's an unbelievable guy, a really good guy, and very well respected over at Brentford. He came in there when they'd lost their set play coach, and he's of course must have made unbelievable, kind of a reputation inside the club as well.
It's a hell of a job to take on, isn't it? But, you know, as Ray makes a point, you know, Brighton have had so many changes, players and managers. Brighton have done really, really well, and, you know, we wish them well. I really mean that. Now, Palace
Absolutely, and I mean, you've got to say in terms of the model there as well, you know, they've been pretty consistent, haven't they, with their model over at Brentford.
Yeah. What about them Palace? It looks like Eze might be on his way, and Gay won't sign a new contract. He's got a year to run. I'd hate to see that Palace side break up after a great season last year.
I know, and that's the worry, isn't it? You know, obviously, I was there on Cup final day, watched it. It was fantastic for the football club. It really was. And I suppose the big thing was, can you ever reproduce them levels again, both from a football club and individually as players? You know, Ray will know himself, and, you know, you as well, Al, that you get a side and it feels brilliantly, and then it suddenly gets broken up. And, you know, that's the worry at Crystal Palace for all the supporters, I guess, is that they just want to see it grow and they want more players to come in. But
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of rumours floating around at the minute.
I think Sean as well. I mean, Gay, if he doesn't sign a new contract, you know, Palace are going to have to make a big decision and say, look, we're going to have to let him go. We have to get some sort of money coming in, because you can't afford to let people go on a free transfer these days. I mean, we've seen Liverpool have come, and they got a little bit lucky with Salah and Van Dijk signing, but Trent obviously moved on. But yeah, that's going to be the big one now. Gay, and Palace need to get money for him, didn't they? With a year left on his contract.
Absolutely. I mean, he's as you know, he's an outstanding player, an even better person. I mean, for the captain of the football club as well, he's led that group fantastically. He really is a classy guy, and no wonder, you know, I mean, they've done really well to keep him away from the grasps of Newcastle in the last window. Brilliantly so, because he obviously helped them tremendously to win the FA Cup, and then the noise surrounding Spurs and Liverpool over the last few weeks has been massive. So, of course, best players want to go and play for the best clubs, don't they? And ultimately, it's now, can Palace get as much money as possible?
Yeah. Sean, you coached at Wolves. Cunha obviously moving on to Man United. How good is this fella, Sean, in your opinion? And can he be a success in a moderate United side at the moment?
Oh, I mean, I've been asked this question a few times. I mean, he does things that you just can't believe what he does in the day-to-day training, and then of course he brings it to light on a Saturday afternoon, you know, whenever he plays the Premier League games. He's a maverick, though. He really is. He's a different type of personality, a different type of character. It was like that at Wolves, and of course, you know, with the greatest respect to Wolves, it's not your Man United, so it goes under the radar sometimes, some of the things that he would do on a match day. And if he does that for Man United, he'll be, of course, criticised to a degree. But his ability is, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, incredible, absolutely incredible.
Really? Wow.
A throwback. He's a throwback footballer. And, you know, like 20 years ago, you used to see a few of them in different teams. You don't really see that type of character and player no more in modern day. And he's great to work with.
Yeah. Sean, what are you doing? What's the plans this season?
Well, at the minute, I'm just looking forward to the season starting. First time I'm missing pre-season, so that's a bit of a loss. But no, I mean, we're just waiting, and you know, I'm waiting as well to see what happens next, and trying to enjoy the quiet time.
Sean, we wish you well, mate.
Yeah, good luck, Sean.
Great talk again. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, guys.
Sean Derry there. Right. Coming up, we're going to hear from a Brentford fan who is delighted with the Keith Andrews appointment. That's good news. 03717 223344. It's the number to have your say. Okay, 8:21. Right, so Keith Andrews has agreed to become the new Brentford boss. The opening fixtures, Ray, have a listen to this. What do you think? Forest away.
Tough.
Villa home.
Tough. They're all tough, though.
Sunderland away, Chelsea home. So there's a big derby for you.
Yeah.
Fulham away, then United at home. Oh, that's tough, isn't it?
Well, I think you look at most teams, they're going to have a tough period throughout the season, whether it's going to be at the latter of the season or the start of the season, whatever it's going to be. And you just got to play every game. I mean, so you just got to get on with it. I've got to have a good pre-season. That's going to be very important for a lot of players. I always said that was the most important time of the season, was the pre-season.
Yeah.
Get your body into ready to go, and you won't get as many injuries. If you get injured during that pre-season as a player,
I think it took me 5-6 games to really get 100%.
Oh, I was always 100% that first game.
Oh, yeah.
We always had a drop off about November. November was always a bad month for us, and we was always worried that we're going to drop too many points where we can't challenge for the title. Yeah. And that's where we had a little, and you was always scratching your head, why November? And it wasn't nothing to do with the fixtures or whoever you're playing. It was just body was, whether you've had such a good pre-season and you had that really good start, and then after Christmas we seem to go on a good run as well. But as I said before, ready. Keith Andrews got to have a good pre-season with his players and tell them that this is how it's going to be and this is how we're going to play, and get it, do your best you can.
Okay, well, let's head straight to the phone lines. Let's get a reaction to Keith getting this big job at Brentford. 03717 223344. We'll speak to Simon, who's a Brentford fan. Simon, welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Ray. Great show, as
Thank
usual.
you. What do you reckon, Simon? Is they could have gone for a bigger name, but he knows the club inside out. He's working with the players. They said, "Go on then, have a go."
100%. I know someone that knows Keith and knows a lot of people inside the club, and the players know him. He knows how Thomas has set things up. There's not much different he needs to do, really. And I just want to go to a quick point that Ray made about Bryan Mbeumo. All right, Bryan Mbeumo is going to go probably 60 million. He's been great, but you've got to remember, we had 4 players last season, one that we paid 40 million for to replace Tony, who never played. They're all back. The amount of times I went to Brentford last season and we had kids on the bench because of the injury situation, but we've got 4 players coming back, like new signings. So our actual squad is going to be so much more powerful than it was last season. So I think he's going to do okay. I think with Thiago, Nunes, who we bought, Rico Henry, Jensen, that's 4 players that are going to come back into that side. And I actually think Nunes, who they reckon was the wonder kid in Brazil, could probably slot into Mbeumo's position.
Right.
Yeah.
What about just briefly, Simon? Forest away, Villa home, Sunderland away, Chelsea home, Fulham away, United at home. Is that a tough start, or are they all tough in the Premier to you?
All tough.
It's quite a tough start, but you've got to remember for Keith Andrews as well, it's not like in Arsenal, Chelsea, and the pressure's not there. You know, if he loses his first 2 or 3 games, it's not going to be like being at Tottenham. Everyone starts to panic. You know, it's Brentford. You know, we're the bus stop in Hounslow, and the pressure is not going to be on him. Like, I personally think Thomas Frank going to Spurs, that's a huge pressure that Thomas has never had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Expect something. And can I just say, Ray, I think you're a legend, but you keep referring to Brighton, but you've got to, if you look at the stats of the players Brentford have bought, for we bought Bryan Mbeumo for 2 million, and we're going to sell him for 60 plus. I mean, that is huge business.
Brilliant.
Ollie Watkins, you know, everyone keeps going to the Brighton model, but Brentford's model is very...
Oh, absolutely.
Good point,
yeah, no,
Simon, good point.
It's a well-run club. You know, I've been over there many times at the stadium. Stadium's fantastic now.
Yeah.
Really good
That's
atmosphere.
Good yeah,
he's right. That he will get a chance, Keith. The pressure isn't on Brentford. But
their business has been good as well. Ray, I'm looking at the clock. Time now for the latest odds with Coral. Here comes the Rochdale Cowboy, John Hill.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for it. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Okay, John, how are we, pal?
Morning, John.
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Ray. Yeah, really good form, thank you, Al.
See, these clowns that write these scripts. Right away, my first question to you is Brentford to get relegated. Don't do that. We're not doing that. We're going to give Keith Andrews... Get stuff, you lot. Right, we're going to do cricket today, day 5. How do you see it, John?
Brilliant. Well, listen, this is a finely tuned test match, isn't it? All 3 results in play going into this final day. India with the runs on the board, Al. They're 6-5 favourites to wrap up victory today. The draw, yeah, they need 10 wickets, don't they? Can they get that? Mbeumo's the big threat with the ball, but the rest of them, they look very average to me, don't they?
But there's a chance of rain. Surely it's going to be hot and sweaty, so the ball's going to move, surely.
There is a chance of rain, and that could impact the game. But you know how England play. They don't play for draws, do they? England, under Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum. They'll be going for the victory today. They'll believe they can get those 350 runs they need. 9-4 for an England victory. It's just been a brilliant test match, and I just hope that the rain doesn't spoil it today and we do get a result, a positive one, come the end of the day in Leeds.
What else we got, pal? We've got so much coming up. We got Wimbledon, we got we got the Open coming up.
That's great,
so much.
isn't it? Yeah.
British Grand Prix.
Yeah, Irish Derby on Sunday at the Curragh. We should see Lambourne, the Epsom Derby winner there. He should feature, so that's exciting. And obviously under 21s tomorrow, England, and a bit of a surprise, that victory over Spain, wasn't it, Ray? It was a great result for England.
Yeah, it's great to see.
They're 2-1.
Yeah,
they're 2-1 joint favourites to defend the title now.
Sure,
so great opportunity.
I'm sure Tuchel's really keeping an eye on their young players coming through.
Yeah,
it's always an opportunity. Under 21s, that was my first ever cap, and you've got to go out there and give it everything, which they will do. But you know, the managers, if you can get in that first team early doors, or even get into a squad to train with the other guys, and then that's what they got to aim for. Every player and the under 21s.
Absolutely,
John. Just on the derby, the Irish Derby, who's the big English raider of? Because I've not really followed the racing for a few days.
No, we've not got the full decks yet, but just looking, it's obviously, as you'd expect, dominated by Irish horses. I think Pride of Arras will go across there, the Dante winner. Disappointed in the derby, but I don't think Epsom quite suited him, so he should head across. But as you'd imagine, the O'Brien names are all there. Delacroix, who we're hoping could come across for the Coral Eclipse at Sandown a week on Saturday, so that'll be exciting. But Lambourne, as I say, winner of the Epsom Derby, can he complete that double?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be piling on. I think one of the other O'Briens.
Well, he'll be odds on, I think.
Will he? Right.
Yeah, he could be odds on.
John, I've got to break there, mate. So listen, have a good day. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, John.
Coming up, we're going to turn our attention to the Lions. Australia legend has said he fears the Lions could lose every test match down under. What about that? We'll find out why next. That's David Campese coming up. That was a look at the latest odds. All thanks to good friends at Coral. John Hills, 18+ gambleaware.org.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for it. 18+, begambleaware.org.
sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brian Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in the team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. Expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talksport.com.
Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car, opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Alan Brazil Ray Parlour, moving on to rugby now. It's time to get a Qatar Airways Lions tour update in partnership with Tenor Men. This Saturday, Andy Farrell's side take on the Western Force. It's live and exclusive here on talkSPORT. The second warm-up before 3 tests against the Wallabies starting July 19. And there's been drama already. The Lions have warned Australia that the Wallaby superstars must appear for their Super Rugby sides in the pre-test series matches, like this Saturday, for instance. Here's Lions CEO Ben Cleverly with more.
I think you're right. We'll see a competitive fixture at the weekend, and of course that's what we're looking for. We want to make sure that our guys are battle hardened, if you like, when it comes to that test series against the Wallabies. The agreement is very clear. It says that test players have to be released to play in the fixtures leading into that test series, and so that's our expectation. We'll play the game at the weekend, and we'll carry on having discussions with Rugby Australia, with Phil Waugh and the rest of the executive team. We'll take that step by step, but we are encouraged that we'll see a strong side competing at the weekend at the Optus.
Lions coach CEO Ben Calverley, Lions CEO, not coach, Ben Calverley with more. Would you think to that? I'm sure, I don't understand that. If you don't want to play them in the warm-up games, surely you don't have to play them.
No, I'm a little bit strange with that.
I thought I read it briefly this morning.
Do with your team selections and...
Yeah, I read it earlier today and I thought it was allowed. Look, we'll find out. So that was Australia coach Schmidt. Of course, the Irish boys will know him, has now hit back at the CEO's remarks, pointing to the fact that the British and Irish Lions won't be playing their best team for every single match. Sean has now discussed that little dispute, and the Lions' opening defeat to Argentina. We thought it would be a tough game, as a man who thinks the Lions could get whitewashed after the loss to the Argies. A very good moment to the Wallabies' all-time leading try scorer and a top man, David Campese. Campo, morning.
Morning, David.
Good morning for you. Good evening from us in Australia, guys. Yes, how are we all? Good?
We're good, but you love a wind-up, Campo. You know, they're going to get whitewashed. No chance.
Old school, mate. You know, you can always... You've got to remember, I was born in the 60s, mate, so I remember the 70s, the Dennis Lillys, the boycott, the Willers, the Bothams, the sledging, That's the era I was born in, mate. So it's just good wind up. You know, you guys have got to have a sense of humour sometimes, don't you?
What do you mean sometimes? We have. You're the miserable
No, you
bitch,
haven't.
Aussies.
Since when? Since when? No, but I must admit, I mean, the biggest wind up I think was ever after the World Cup 2003. No, sorry, it was 1991 World Cup when I was in Italy, and I was invited to BBC Sportsman's of the Year award, and England won the Team of the Year for coming second. So they brought me over, and I rocked up in a pair of jeans and a T-shirt and a jacket, and they put me on TV to present England, the best team in England, when we won the World Cup against them. So that was a G up, yeah.
Yeah. What about this little argument here? Do you understand why the Lions are digging their heels in over the warm-up games? I wouldn't bother me, honestly.
No, but look. The thing that there's an article that's just been brought out. I can try and send to you. It's about 30 years from South Africa. Actually, it's 30 years of the Rugby World Cup, where we are now compared to where we were back then. And it's quite an interesting story written by a great South African journalist. And I was speaking. I'm actually helping out at my son's school, TSS, on the Gold Coast, which is a private school. I don't coach him, which is good. But the interesting thing is nobody in Australia watches rugby. Rugby league dominates. Yeah. We're not on free-to-air TV. And, you know, I'm going to praise myself here. Unfortunately, I don't do it often. But in 1991, I brought out a book on a wing and a prayer. And if you look at what I said back then, I actually said, if we go professional, our game is destroyed. And if you look at 95, 96, you know, in Australia or most around the world, most teams, national teams, went and got a rugby league defence coach, because rugby league is the closest game to rugby union. And the game is about defence. You have a look at the game now. I watched that game the other night, the Lions versus Argentina. Argentina, I mean, some of those players are unbelievable. I don't know where they've come from, but they're obviously doing something right. And the Lions just kept on doing the same which Andy Farrell wants to do, which they did against Ireland, against the All Blacks a couple of years ago when they beat them in New Zealand. They didn't commit anyone to a ruck, which is really good, but the teams are going to work you out pretty quickly. And I did write an article in the with James Weil, a mate of mine, in the Planet Rugby. If you have a read of it, obviously I'll give it to you guys. But the thing is, you know, the game is still rugby, but we've gone a long way away from where we were. And if Andy Farrell's going to play his rugby league, don't attack at the rucks, you guys are going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Do you honestly believe then? Because I think Argentina have improved. It was the Lions' first game.
Oh, definitely.
You know, they're beating the big boys, Argentina, haven't they? But do you think it could be a whitewash, David? Do you think Aussies could win all three?
Well, we've got our own problems out here as well. We've got a Kiwi coach, Joe Smith. And, you know, we haven't picked our best number 10, really. Two number 10s for me are the best in Australia. Ben Donaldson. He's a really good player. And you've got James O'Connor, who's been playing for the Crusaders in Super Rugby. And he's been coming on for the Crusaders like 20, 30 to go, and he's actually been a match winner. But they don't even mention him, you know. And again, you know, James is 34. He's been around. He's been there, done that. I speak to him often. And, you know, he talks about the Crusaders culture, they talk about the players before. It's not about them. In Australian rugby, we haven't got any culture. No one cares. No one knows who we are. I'll ask you a question, Alan. Do you know the only person in the world to score 4 tries against the All Blacks? Do you know who he was?
The only person who
scored 4 tries against the All Blacks at Eden Park.
Oh, no,
in 1978. Well, that's Australian doesn't know either.
Was it you?
Oh, I would never.
Was it you?
No, not me. That was a guy. It was a guy called Greg Cornelson, who was a flanker.
No,
but no one in Australia's got any idea who he is. So that's what I mean. If you haven't got culture and history, you haven't got anything. And unfortunately, that's where we are in Australia. We've got Joe Smith, who still doesn't know about our culture and history. He wants to play Joe Smith rugby. Now he's got Les Kiss involved, who's a rugby league guy who went over and coached in Ireland. And you've got David Nisifora, who's involved behind the scenes. I think he's helping somebody. But mate, it's just like we've got to try and play a style of rugby that people want to watch. You know, at the moment, it's a very, very up and down defensive game. And if the Irish Lions, the British and Irish Lions, British, Irish, and Pacific Island Lions, I'm going to call them, because you've got so many Australian Islanders in there. It's going to be a very, very interesting game.
David, what do you make of Itoje in that game against Argentina? As captain?
Yeah, mate. No, there's not a captain.
No,
I'm sorry. You need a captain who's going to lead by example. There was a couple of times there he should have stood up a lot more. And it is hard when you've got four nations in one team. But again, if you've got an Irish, Farrell's English, obviously, and coached an Ireland, you lost a lot of players. You haven't really got a good dominant number 8s. And even though you had a good flankers, but I mean, the Argentinians just played a style of rugby, which was, you actually had to, you go to a ruck and the ball's gone. It's a different style now. And I just hope out here that the Lions actually realise you can't play what you do week in, week out. You've got to actually do something different out here because, we got Sawali, who's very good in the air. I mean, he wins most of the kickoffs when he's playing.
Yeah, you like him, don't you, David? Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's good, but I mean, the thing is, he's just one player. The other, he's got to understand, rugby is a team of, if you've got a really good backline that functions well, I don't know why you play Smith at fullback. Kinghorn's a far better player. You've got Finn Russell, who's a far better player.
He'll come in, won't he? He'll come in at 10.
Yeah, he will, but the problem is you've got 12 and 13 are exactly the same. They're not. There's no O'Driscoll. If you throw an O'Driscoll at 13, it'll be a total different backline. You've got some really good finishers, but are they getting enough of the ball? That's the structure of the game. It's changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, David, look, we look forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. I am. And I look forward to talking to you.
Why aren't you coming out then? Why don't they send you out and have a tour of Australia?
I think it's called a budget here, David. You know what it's like, talkSPORT.
He won't go back, David. That's a problem.
I think that's what, I might like it too much. My brother lives in Perth.
We could always go to a pub and watch it and just report on it.
What's the one out there? Pig and Whistle?
Pig and Whistle in Brisbane. Yeah, I'll head to there. Don't worry. David, great to talk. I'll speak soon.
Cheers,
Thank
David.
you.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
Legend David Campese there. It's going to be
top
interesting.
speaker, David.
He is a top speaker. He's really good fun. Top guy. I was talking to Eddie Jones the other day, and
talks a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Campos, he's got his own style, hasn't he? He speaks his mind.
Yeah, which is.
But talk about a flair player, he was a great player. That was thanks to Tenor Men. Plus, don't forget, talkSPORT's the only place on national radio where you can follow all the Lions action. Every day this week over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Lions Uncaged. We bring you everything you need to know from the Lions camp, including exclusive interviews, breaking news, and some of the behind-the-scenes stories you won't be able to hear anywhere else. Okay? Now, talking about Australia, we'll talk to a top pro surfer, a top pro surfer next. We want to try and get on his knees and get up and ride the waves. Aloha, 8:45.
Qatar Airways Lions Tour Roundup on talkSPORT with coverage sponsored by Tenor Men. Upgrade your protection with Tenor Men and keep control.
Okay, 10 minutes to 9 o'clock. After now, I'm going to be joined in the studio with this former Wimbledon finalist.
Why are you watching me on a Sunday night? You got nothing else to do on a Sunday night? You got nothing else to do on a Sunday night?
Yeah, the mercurial talent, sometimes controversial Aussie Nick Kyrgios is with us. You can send us a voice note on WhatsApp if you like to ask Nick a question. 03 717 223344. That's the number. That was our breakfast preview with Benchmark.
Superstar breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmark's Kitchens and Joinery. All our Benchmark's kitchen doors come with a 5-year guarantee. Terms and conditions apply.
I've been in a hotel where the helicopter zooms in. It's at the top. The Ilokai Hotel, it's called, in Hawaii. Yeah, I've been there. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil Ray Parlour. Time now for something rather exciting. Let's ride the waves. It's time to be joined by someone who well have had the biggest career turn ever back in 2013, from plumber to professional surfer. And now someone who's pushing surfing into the global spotlight. Andrew Cotton is in the studio. I'm delighted to welcome him. Andrew, good morning.
Morning, Andrew. How's it going? You all right?
Oh, yeah. I'm just reading some of the highlights of this. Is incredible. Now, how the hell have you gone from a plumber to, a part of the Hawaii 5-0 jet set?
Well, I grew up in North Devon, and obviously surfing was a huge passion of mine. Straight away, I was obsessed and was like, I wanted to be. The dream was to be a professional surfer, but obviously it was never that simple.
And the beach there as well, because I think Cornwall is surfing, not Devon.
No, there's some amazing beaches all around the UK, but North Devon is also really beautiful. I started surfing at a beach called Saunton Sands.
Yeah, no.
It's a beautiful beach, really good for learning. But I actually, it was kind of hard to. I worked in the surf industry for about 10 years, and then when I was about 25, I retrained as a plumber and sort of gave up on it all. Really.
Why? Because
I couldn't. Well, I had a great time in the surf industry, and I travelled a lot, and actually that's where I found my niche in surfing, which was big waves. That was my passion. So, and then I retrained as a plumber, and then I was working in the sort of that industry for about 5 or 6 years, and then somehow I just
got back into it.
Yeah.
Did you learn on a jet ski? Was that right?
No.
Or was you doing a bit of jet skiing?
No. So with the big waves that we surf, they're so big and they move so fast. We use a jet ski to get towed into them.
Oh,
yeah. So the jet ski sort of positions the surfer like under the wave, and then you sort of like water ski into it. You let go of the tow rope, and then the surfer surfs the wave.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now tell us about. I think you're the first Brit, to ride the legendary Cortes Bank.
Cortes Bank, yeah. So
where is that, first of all?
That's a wave in the middle of the ocean. It's about
California.
It's California, yeah. It's 100 kilometers off San Diego.
Right.
It's in the middle of the ocean. We take about 24 hours to get there on a boat.
And then you jet ski over?
Well, no, you get on a boat and then they crane off the jet skis off the boat. It's like an underwater sea mountain, and it was like some of the biggest waves I've ever seen in the world. But it also like the most amazing wildlife and sea life, like in the middle of nowhere. You can't see any land. There were sharks, dolphins, seals. Like it's amazing.
Right away, as soon as you say shark there, it was Jaws 50 years ago, was made a few weeks ago. Does that not worry you? Because every now and again we hear in South Africa, we hear in Australia.
But I think that, like they're well fed, and that you're definitely not on the.
So you just got to be unlucky.
I think you got to be unlucky. Yeah, out there was definitely some big great whites out there, but they're well fed. They're well fed.
And you can see them.
We saw sharks out there. Yeah.
So what do you do when you're paddling on your board waiting for a wave and you see this fin coming towards you?
If you see sharks, you kind of want to wait on the jet ski when you're waiting. You don't really want to wait swimming around.
What if the guy doesn't see the sharks? He's taking time getting to you.
They're not interested. They'll have a little look around, but they're not interested in you. They're not, definitely not.
Wow.
That's oh dear.
Now, what is the biggest event now for surfing around the world? I mean, where everybody.
Well,
the best place to surf.
The best place. So the biggest waves, pretty much the most biggest consistent waves. Is surprising. Is actually in Europe, in Portugal, a place called
Portugal?
Yeah, in a place called Nazaré.
Oh, okay.
They often have waves. Every season have waves.
And this is the Atlantic.
Like 80 feet. Yeah, North Atlantic. Which is surprising. When I grew up as a kid, like I always thought I'd have to be Hawaii, Australia,
of course,
California. But no, it's actually.
Is that near Lisbon or is it Porto or what end?
It's in between Porto and Lisbon. It's an hour north of Lisbon.
Okay.
It's a little place.
Because you do see a lot of people down the Algarve as well. But obviously it's not the waves like that.
No, there's a bit. Algarve's great, but Nazaré is famous. It has like an underwater canyon, which creates the most insane, biggest waves. It's absolutely insane. So if you're ever in Portugal, I definitely recommend going.
So this Cortes Bank, how high can the wave? Now they don't come every year, do they?
Cortes Banks, it's because it's so remote. And you have to have really specific weather patterns for it to be rideable. So when this weather chart came, we had about 48 hours to get there. I was actually in Ireland at the time, so I flew from Ireland to San Diego and then onto the boat. But the last time I think that it got that big and that good, I think it was probably like 8 years ago. So.
Now, for someone who's suddenly listening, saying, "God, fancy about that," there is schools down in Devon and Cornwall, isn't there?
yeah. There's a lot of good surf schools all around the UK. But yeah, there's a few schools in where I live in North Devon. So it is definitely worth getting a lesson if you.
Well, Ray loves a party scene, so that would be. You're getting a bit older.
I don't like the sound of sharks, Al.
there's no sharks in Devon.
No. Well,
basket sharks is
my granddad used to catch a few down there. Or flew. But I mean,
but it's a good party scene, isn't it? A lot of chicks.
I don't know about that.
Oh, sorry, you're married now. I forgot. Yeah. Tell us at 10. No, it sounds a great way of life. Hang loose. That's what they say.
Yeah. How many times do you surf a week?
How many times I surf a week?
Or when do you usually surf?
When I surf, so if I'm at home in Devon, you can surf pretty much like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
If the waves are good. Okay. But like apart from that, I do a lot of training, like cross training, on the bike, in the pool, in the gym, sort of to keep fit and ready,
And if you're just starting out, what's the hardest bit to learn?
I think it's your core. You need to be like quite flexible and have quite good core strength, just to
get from flat to your knees and up quickly.
Yeah, and just to balance on a surfboard and paddle. Because obviously there's a lot of that core stability to keep the board flat and not fall off.
Brilliant.
I don't think I got a big enough ball for you, Ro.
No, I did. I belly surfed in Hawaii. And what but I mean, no. I'll never do it again.
It's a shark's mane. You'll be a shark's mane course.
By the way, I wasn't this size then. But I got too far in the front of the board and the wave flipped me.
Oh, yeah.
And it threw me on the beach. And then people were laughing. And then the board hit me. Because that came next and that hit me. And I just shrugged my shoulders, given the board back and went in the bar. I thought, my surfing days are over. When's the next competition?
So the big wave season starts again in October. So I'll head down to Portugal then.
Lovely.
The next big wave contest in Nazaré, the waiting period starts in November and finishes in March. So anytime between them.
Brilliant. Andrew, we wish you well, and I'm glad you came in. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Thank you. Brilliant. Andrew Cotton there. That's brilliant. Portugal, there you go. You done that, Parlour.
Yeah.
Right, coming up, we can ask Ray Parlour, so still don't know which striker they want to sign. Are they going to get one? That's coming next.
Would you sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brian Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in the team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. Expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can. Like I said, I think they're going to bowl well at some times of tomorrow. I think it's just crucial that we do soak up that bit of pressure and then reapply it again. But yeah, I don't see why we can't chase that down.
Very different weather for Chelsea out in Philadelphia. We might be struggling to hack anything above 10 degrees here, but Enzo Maresca says his side are really suffering at the Club World Cup, with temperatures expected to hit almost 38 degrees Celsius there.
It's almost impossible to make or to train, to make session because of the weather. Now we are trying just to save energy for the game. This morning session has been very short. Has been just about tomorrow game, plan for tomorrow, and that's it.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the Movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talksport.com.
Good morning. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best shoes, cardio guaranteed. Arsenal invincible Ray Parlour alongside me, who has traded his usual Tuesday morning breakfast at the Rose for national radio this morning. Thank you, Ray.
No problem now.
Still to come before 10, we welcome our modern tennis icon, the very, very studios. We're joined by the 2022 Wimbledon runner-up and captivating character, Nick Kyrgios. 03717 223344 is the talkSPORT number to call, and to WhatsApp these days. Save it on your phone and you can voice note us a question for Nick. He's with us 9:15. Now, there wouldn't have gone unnoticed by Ray that Arsenal were handed a pretty tough start to the Premier League season last week. Just to remind you, away at Man United first game, first home game Leeds United, then Liverpool away, Forest home, Man City home, Newcastle away. First of all, Ray, that's your first 6 games. That's not easy.
No, it's not easy, but I'd always look at more the running if you're going to look at it, because if you're in the hunt, if you've got a chance,
if you're in the hunt, what if you're 7 behind?
Well, they've got to have a good pre-season. That's very important, and they've got Arsenal a good side. So they'll be looking at some of those games and saying we can get something out of Liverpool maybe early in the season. You don't know what players, how they have pre-season, how it goes for certain players and whatever. So, as I said before, there's no right or wrong time to play Liverpool or Man City. You just got to get on with it, and it's another game.
What if it doesn't go well? Is it see you later, Mikel?
Well, not yet, no. I mean,
after 6?
No. I think they'll be looking at it and saying, look, it's a big season for Mikel Arteta, and there's no doubt about that, because, the pressure now is on. He knows that. He's a realistic person who knows that the expectation, it's no good coming second every year, as you rightly said. You've got to try and win something. So, I thought Champions League, look, they played well. Real Madrid was a great game for them to get through. Obviously, PSG, they probably lost it at home, losing. They needed to take a lead to Paris, which they didn't do. But you've got to learn again. So it's a young squad. You've got to keep improving. They had quite a few injuries last year as well to key players at certain times of the season. But recruitment is going to be very important. We know that. And striker, everybody, it's not rocket science, Al. You need a number 9 to finish. You can't have, Havertz done the best he could. He got injured. Marino's has done the best he could. Who's done a decent job, but he's not a number 9. He's not a guy who's going to, make that run across defenders and get into positions, because they do create lots of chances, Arsenal, but they need someone to finish it off. You need an Henry. You need an Ian Wright back in the day. Is that sort of striker to help you, and that's the big thing for me. They've got to get the right striker in. Whether they can do that, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure they will. And then you just got to start the season well and see how they go. But you know,
on those opening 6 games, this is what Gabby at Burnley expects.
Oh, you don't really say to Gabby, do you?
No, well, this is what Gabby expects sometimes. He reckons you
8 points, 7 points.
Well, let's hear. Gabby, take it away.
Here we go.
You look at Arsenal's first 6. Manchester United away first game. You know what it's like, Al. First game of the season at home. Manchester United are going to be lively. You'd expect. I've
going to be boiling hot.
Exactly.
Well.
I've gone through a draw. Leeds at home. I've gone through a win for Arsenal. Liverpool away, loss. Forest at home. I've gone through a win, narrow win for Arsenal. Manchester City at home. I've gone for a loss. And Newcastle away. They don't do very well there. Arsenal have gone for a loss. So that's 7 points out of a possible 18. I've gone for Arsenal. Obviously, I'm just guessing here, but that wouldn't be a great start for them.
What price they get relegated, Arsenal? Gabby's put 5 on that. Look, why would they lose to Man City? I don't get that one. At the Emirates. They beat them last year. They beat them. They're pretty good at home. And I wouldn't put that down as a loss. I think they've got every chance of getting a result there. Liverpool, you set your stall out.
I think City are going to be a lot better this year.
Oh, yeah, of course they're going to be better, but Arsenal should improve as well. And the Emirates would be bouncing as well. It'd be a great atmosphere. I think Liverpool, look, you can go up to Liverpool and get a result. There's no doubt about that. Newcastle's always difficult for any away team, but I can see them probably a lot more points than that.
So Gabby's partner in crime, I hear they've done the show together. Yesterday's breakfast show, Troy Deeney, and he says Mikel needs to go off his ego somewhat and get that centre forward. Here's Troy.
Just seems to me like they're trying with Arteta to do it his way and a little bit arrogant here, try to get his ego in the way and make sure he does it his way. I just think they need to get a striker in if they want to go past the Liverpool team that are spending non-stop and Man City that are spending again. And I think Chelsea are going to be good this year as well, so Arsenal need to up it.
Yeah, well,
it's not rocket science, though. Everybody, it's glaring at you. You need a striker.
Who would you like to see that get?
Well, that Sesco's got everything going for him. He's a young lad. He can improve. He's strong. He's quick. He's not great in the air. I mean, he can do better in the air probably.
It's Leipzig.
Yes, and he's on their radar. The Sporting Lisbon obviously been linked to Man United, but he sounds like he wants to go to Arsenal. That's another one.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be out of one of those strikers. I should imagine who they get. Zubimendi looks like he's going to be signed as well, holding a midfielder, which gives Declan Rice a little bit more licence to get forward, I should imagine. I think Partey's staying, isn't he? So he's another member in that squad who can play central midfield. But striker-wise, it's got to be one of those two. And then, hopefully they settle in straight away and they learn to play around the likes of Saka and obviously Martinelli on the left, whoever it's going to be. And I think they will go for another winger as well. I think winger is quite important because when Saka was out last season, they did struggle a little bit. Odegaard's game went a little bit as well because they are in little triangles.
He has been great. I wouldn't point fingers at Odegaard.
No, he's been brilliant, Odegaard.
He's been great.
No, absolutely. And he had his injury problems. He got injured playing for his country. So I think if they can get that a little bit more luck next year, and if you look at Liverpool, which they deserve to win the league, there's no doubt about that.
Because the lack of games they lost.
They didn't have a lot of injuries, did they, to key players? I'm talking about Van Dijk. He's massive for Liverpool. Salah's massive for Liverpool. He didn't get injured too often. He played every week. So other teams got more injuries, but there's nothing against Liverpool because they deserve to win it. They were the best team in the league because they're most consistent. But I think Arsenal got to learn from last season. If they can get a little bit more luckier with the injuries, I think they've got a great chance again. But I think it's going to be a great Premier League next year.
I do.
I think Chelsea will certainly improve, as Troy says there. Man City can't get no worse. I want to see Man United now.
They finished the season well, City, didn't they? If you look at the games,
they did. Yeah, they did indeed. So they're going to sign.
What about the likes of Newcastle, Forest, Villa then?
I think Newcastle always going to be up there. I think Newcastle under Heady. I think Forest, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them next year. I think they was brilliant last year, and I was really hoping they could stay in that Champions League. And it was rocking at the City ground. But I think they might just dropped down a little bit, but it's still progress. You know, I would have had Forest in a relegation battle last season, Al.
Incredible, isn't it?
To get to where they got to.
Just one last one, because we're going to talk Wimbledon. Carlos Cuesta this summer. He's gone. He said, Mikel, I've got to go. I'm taking the Parma job. How big a blow
Who's
is that? Mikel's assistant.
Okay.
Carlos Cuesta.
Yeah.
Cuesta.
Well, it's a blow because, you know, your backroom staff are very important.
Well, just think if Pat Rice suddenly lost, if he left Arsenal, you know, would it be...
You just got to deal with it, Al. I'm sure there's other people can do a similar sort of job. You know, Albert's there still. He's the main man as well. So they've got plenty of backroom staff, and they've got a lot of staff, by the way. When you go pre-season now, they need a coach just for the staff. So there'll be enough people there to help Mikel. And look, I'm just hoping they have a good season, but you never know. Premier League's such a competitive league, and I can't wait for it, if I'm being honest. You know, you do miss it when it's not there.
Yeah. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk a bit of tennis with Nick Kyrgios. By the way, just looking at Nick's CV, very, very good, by the way. I'll just give you a couple, right? His record against the Big Four. Nick has an impressive record against Djokovic, who's beaten 2-1 over the 3 matches. That is brilliant. He also beat Rafa Nadal 3 times at the 9 contest. He's beaten Roger Federer and Andy Murray once each, with the same record against both overall, 6-1. So he's been in there with the big boys and looking at singles finals, Wimbledon 2022, Cincinnati 17.
Oh, he's been there, done it. Yeah.
Estero 2015, yeah. Career titles in Washington, in Acapulco, in Brisbane, and Marseille. Brilliant.
I wonder who's the best players he thinks he's played.
Well, ask him. Maybe in the minute.
Where is he?
He's coming in. 9:14.
Good morning, talkSPORT breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car, then join Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways, everyday perks. Alan Brazil Ray Parlour with me. Right, time now for what you've all been waiting for. It's a great pleasure to be joined in the studio by a man who does this.
I don't think I had any of the answers earlier on in my career, obviously, mentally quite abrupt. But now I feel like I'm, maturing. I'm 26 now, turning 27, so it's about time I started acting like it, I think.
Nick Kyrgios is the leading man in Washington, D.C., and he is leaving with the silverware.
He's a good watch. He's different. He brings something else to the party that nobody else brings.
He's a little bit like a footballer playing tennis. Like he's got that edge to him. He's always complaining to the ref. I really enjoyed it, but Djokovic is just so cool in them moments. He knows how to get it done.
Why are you watching me on a Sunday night? You got nothing else to do on a Sunday night? You got nothing else to do on a Sunday night?
Oh, to be kidding me. That is outrageous. Absolutely incredible reactions from Kyrgios.
Yep, that's right. Australian superstar, 2022 Australian Opens doubles winner, Wimbledon finalist the same year, Nick Kyrgios, is here in the building. Joins us now. Good morning. Good day,
morning, Nick.
I appreciate it, guys. I've had a couple intros, but that one probably tops them all.
Nick, what is with the Bostons and the Celtic hat?
Well, I'm a big NBA fan. It was actually my first love was playing basketball, but yeah, my parents pushed me into tennis, and here we are.
Right, okay. And the Celtics, your favourite?
Yeah, the Boston Celtics. I live and die the Boston Celtics.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
and I don't mind Tottenham Hotspur.
What did you say, Nick? I didn't hear that bit. What?
Arsenal, sorry.
That's it.
You arrived when? You've just got over here, haven't you? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, we landed yesterday from Australia, so jet lag is there, but I had a good sleep last night.
All right, and how's the injury, did I ask? Because you were hoping to play at Wimbledon this year.
Yeah, I was supposed to play the whole grass season. It's the best time for me in my tennis career. I always really enjoyed playing on the grass, and Wimbledon's always my favourite tournament. But yeah, I had a bit of a knee injury, and unfortunately won't be able to play. But still being.
Have you just tweaked a ligament, or?
Yeah, I strained I think like my meniscus. I strained it a little bit.
Right.
And yeah, I'm 30 now, so I'm getting over to once you get to 30, I think your body starts crying out for a little bit more attention. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
And the weather's been really good in London, so hopefully it'll improve. And Wimbledon's always great if the weather's great.
I mean, look, it's very rare that the weather's good here. I'm not going to lie, guys. I mean, that's the one thing about London where every time I come, the weather's it's a coin flip.
Hit and miss.
See, one of my favourite cities is Sydney. I love Sydney.
Yeah, you love a night out, I can tell.
Oh, absolutely.
Too many good ones.
Did you look at my belly there?
There's a few quid in there, Nick. Don't worry about that.
No, I really like Sydney, honestly. Everything about it was beautiful. But London, there's so much variety. It's great. But you're based over in Wimbledon, which is nice.
Yeah, it's quiet. The Dog and Fox is my favourite pub over there. I'm going there tonight, so anyone that's around that area, I'll see you there.
Actually, if you don't come for a debrief with us first.
Yeah, I mean, if I get the invite,
the guy's jet lagged, so it's not going to make any difference, is it?
If I get the invite, I'll be with you boys.
Yeah. So Nick, tennis at the moment, then there's a bit of a change at the moment, isn't there? Sitting at the top, Alcaraz. How do you see it these days? Because we've had some greats, haven't we?
Yeah,
over the last couple of decades, 2-3 decades.
Yeah, I mean, I played. I'm still playing now, but when I was, in my 20s coming up, we had Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Andy Murray all in their prime. So it was almost impossible for someone like me to win a Grand Slam. To go through those guys they were gods of the sport.
Sometimes it's just the era you're in. Andy Murray, how many Grand Slams may he have won?
Yeah, I think Andy Murray would have won at least 10 probably if those guys weren't there as well. Yeah. But, I look at Alcaraz and Sinner and all these young guys coming up, the changing of the guard is definitely happening. But I think when Federer, Nadal and Djokovic, now you see him on his last legs, I think maybe one more year. Tennis is going to need a new identity, I think, and I think Alcaraz and Sinner are those two guys.
You've beaten Djokovic, and he's do you know what I love about him? He's as you say, he's in the final stages of his career.
Yeah.
But he's still a winner. He still wants to win, doesn't he?
Yeah, he defeated time, that's for sure. I mean, he's nearly 40 years old and he's still competing for Grand Slams, and I think he plays that villain role very well now. I think when he embraces that like bad guy a bit more, he plays a lot better. So
who would be the hardest opponent you've played against, would you say, over the years?
I think on their day, I think Federer was probably the hardest to play for me. I think obviously styles make fights, and I just think the way Federer played was, you know, he's probably the most talented player to ever touch a racket. But statistics, I think Djokovic is the greatest of all time.
And growing up, did you look at someone and say, "Oh, you know, I want to be like him one day"?
Honestly, I didn't look at any tennis player as a role model, to be honest. No? I mean, I watched basketball. I was obsessed with the culture. I was obsessed with the way, you know, the sport was played, and then you got tennis, who's the complete opposite of the NBA. And I didn't.
Federer was. It wasn't Bjorn Borg, but he was so cool, calm, and never really spoke on court, didn't he? He just got on with it.
Well, earlier in his career, was actually he was a nutcase. He used to get angry a lot and break a lot of rackets, and then he lost his coach. His coach passed away, and then he kind of just completely changed.
So when that first started with you, you thought, I'll age myself out of this, but that didn't happen, Nick.
No,
did
it definitely didn't happen. and now I'm just like, it's not going to stop. So I mean, I'm never going to change.
Do you know who's doing well for us? Jack Draper.
Very good player. Very good player.
Someone said he's number 4 in the world now.
Yep. He's a big lefty, great athlete. Very professional. I think Jack Draper could win a Grand Slam. 100%.
Really?
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow. And then Wimbledon, okay, it's grass, it's different. Would you make Alcaraz favourite, or would it be Sinner? You know, we'll touch on Sinner in a moment because I know you're angry.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry.
But some people are, and rightly so for me, rightly so. All this massage rubbish, I'm sorry, I'm not having it. But Alcaraz, he's a warrior as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Alcaraz is, I would say he'd be the favourite to win Wimbledon. I saw a stat today. He's won 4 tournaments on grass, and he's only lost 3 matches on the surface ever.
Wow.
So I think he would be the favourite. What I love about Alcaraz, he's got a bit of both. He's got a bit of Nadal, Federer, and Novak. He's all blended into one. He entertains the crowd. He's got the physicality. He's got the smile. He enjoys it. So I think Alcaraz would be the favourite.
So grass is your favourite?
Yeah, grass is my favourite surface.
Yeah.
I really did just want to win one Wimbledon. But
who was the best on clay? Nadal?
Nadal.
That was unbelievable.
French Open. It was his court, wasn't it? Roland Garros.
People lost before they even walked out there.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't believe. They didn't believe.
But he was incredible. He had knee problems, didn't he?
He had a lot of problems physically, but he was just a warrior. Probably the best competitor ever.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this more. What about Australia? Because Australia, for me, is a great sporting nation. We got, obviously, the cricket coming up shortly. The Lions are down there, so it's going to be fantastic. What about, did you play any other sports? Did you ever fancy cricket?
I mean, look, in Australia, you play cricket, you know, at school, when at recess or lunchtime, you play cricket. I played a lot of touch football, played a little bit of soccer, football, but I mean, tennis, basketball for me were the 2 main sports growing up. My parents just pushed me into tennis. They believed that I could, you know, kind of make it and do all the things I'm doing today. Being here with you guys, it's been an incredible journey, that's for sure. But yeah, I just owe it all to my parents.
Well, not claim to fame, but I actually played in the opening game at the Sydney Stadium against Olympic for Wollongong, and we won 1-0 and I scored. I just got off the plane, and I was a little bit naughty on the plane. You know, I thought, it's a long journey, and I was up the front, and you know, it's very hard to say no. And the game, I was going to arrive there on the Thursday. I took off the Thursday. I was going to arrive Saturday morning, and they said, "Sir, what would you like? Would you like a glass of champagne?" You know, yeah, lovely. Go on then. And I looked at the stops, and I thought, I've got to stop drinking somewhere. You know, once we get there, because a game, when we get there Saturday morning, we're playing 5 o'clock at night. First game in the new Sydney football ground.
Yeah,
soccer. Well, I stopped drinking in Perth, which is not very good when you've left London, right?
No.
And it was amazing. I took a guy with us with a massive injury problem. His name was Bruiser Keys. He was a roofer. But he was a good player, but just didn't fancy the full time. And he went building. But he was a good player, played for Luton. And I took him with me, and I says, look, we've got to think about this, you know. We get there Saturday morning, mate. He went, oh, this is great. I went, I know it's great, but, you know. Anyway, cut a long story short, we kick off. He goes down the right wing, beats 2, crosses far post. I score 1-0. We then get battered, but we hang on 1-0. And I just want my bed now. I've had it, right? We won 1-0. And the guy who owned us was a Greek guy, Harry Michaels, who had a TV production company. You know, Oz Aerobics? You ever seen that? But all the girls are down by Sydney Harbour and all these pretty girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was his. And he all he wanted to do was party. He won 10 grand. And that was a long time ago. And he'd won 10 grand. I'm ready for bed. He took me all over Sydney. It was magic.
No, that's why you love Sydney.
It took me 3 days to recover.
That's why you love Sydney.
Yeah, aerobics. That's why it was, yeah?
Yeah, we'll get back to tennis in a moment. It's 9:30.
Would you sign for the club who finished 17th in the Premier League but still got Champions League football, or the one who finished 2 spots higher up but who won't be in Europe at all next season? Well, Man United may have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Bryan Mbeumo, but ex-Premier League striker Carlton Cole says now that Thomas Frank and his backroom staff are at Spurs, Mbeumo should go there instead.
Your transition into getting in a team and performing will be a lot more smoother.
Stay in London.
And the pressure will be different, hard still, don't get me wrong. Expectation's going to be there, but not as bad as it would be at Manchester United if it doesn't come off and they've spent all that money. Because you've seen other players, similar sort of player, Jadon Sancho.
Elsewhere, England need 350 more runs on the final day to win the first test against India. All eyes on whether rainy weather is going to spoil the party at Headingley, though.
Is there any scenario tomorrow where a draw is a good result?
No, I think we'll just go for the win. I think that's what the clear message in the change rooms. I think just being as positive as we can.
And at the premiere of the new film F1 the movie, we asked Gareth Bale whether his consortium is keen to buy Cardiff City or not.
I can't say too much, but like I said, we would love to be a part of that Cardiff ownership and take Cardiff back where they belong.
Watch the full interview at talkSPORT.com.
Okay, 9:34, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Ray Parlour with me. We're still joined by 2022 Australian Open champion Nick Kyrgios. Nick, you're bringing your hit podcast to a live show tonight in Wimbledon. This is before you go to the pub. There's only a couple of tickets that are left. That's www.fane.co.uk/Nick/ is it slash? Is that a hyphen? What's that? Nick, what's your address out? I'm useless at it.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look what it says here.
Should that not be Fan or is it Fane?
Yeah, it's Fane. Fane.co.uk/Nick-Kyrgios.
Kyrgios, right, okay. Do you enjoy it? Oh, hello. Our tech genius here. Our tech genius here.
I'm better than you.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing them?
I do love it. This show, Good Trouble, has been an amazing journey for me. I've had some incredible guests. Mike Tyson, Matthew McConaughey, had some, Gordon Ramsay.
He's great, he is.
I've had some incredible guests, and sometimes I wake up and I think, I'm sitting next to these guys and I get to hear about their journey. So to do a live show tonight at Wimbledon, the Wimbledon Theatre.
We've done that, right, haven't we?
Yeah. Great spot.
It is a great spot.
Wimbledon's really good. You'll enjoy that.
So
great theatre.
I'm just looking forward to it, and just to bring a bit of entertainment to the people of Wimbledon, because this is one of the most special places for me and in my journey. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And you're based there for the next few weeks?
Yeah. Don't tell too many people that, otherwise.
Well, you've just told them what pub you're into.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, I'm joking.
Drinks for Nick, he said.
What about
your drinking?
Someone, when we knew you were coming on, someone said you were, sorry, not you, but tennis audiences are down now, people watching on telly. And yet when I see big events, there's always a healthy crowd there.
Yeah, I think because tennis is all year round, like the schedule is 9 to 10 months, so there's no off season. I think when a sport like that, the people watching just, it's because it's always there, it's like, I can just watch it the next week and next week. So I think the attendance for the Grand Slams are always amazing, but during the year, I think people just don't, there's no novelty of it. It's not like just a certain, it's a season for, football or something like that. They know it's a certain time to go watch, and then there's like a couple months off, where tennis doesn't have that.
Yeah. How did you warm up? Because I remember Andy Murray and Rafa Nadal, they used to play football tennis in the mornings, and they were so good at it.
Yeah,
obviously with a tennis ball out and over the net, they were so good. And that's what got them going in the mornings before to warm up. Did you have a routine that you did?
I'm not going to lie, I probably didn't warm up that much in my career, hence why there's probably a couple injuries now. But no, look, I just used to just get loose as anyone would. But yeah, look, to be fair, I have a theory that all the European tennis players had really good footwork because they grew up with football and did those soccer things. And the American players, they grew up throwing like NFL balls, and they always had a big serve and a big forehand, and maybe their footwork wasn't as good. So,
but you say that about injuries. Why you've got a few injuries? Nadal's had them, and Andy's had his fair share.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate with Andy. I think to see how good his career was. And to see, the injuries he had towards the end of his career, it was sad to see, and you could see that he loves it so much. He retired and then instantly became Djokovic's coach. I'm just like, surely he wanted some sort of time away from the game, but he just wanted to jump right in. So that he was made for the sport. And,
were you a big McEnroe fan, or was that too early for you?
Yeah, I was a fan of McEnroe. We've had our run-ins before, but I think we're on good terms now. I do think I'm crazier though. Yeah, I do think I'm crazier, and I could.
He was pretty crazy though.
Yeah, I definitely could drink more than him though.
The people, and it's interesting because football's changed a lot. In our day, most players had a drink, not at the right time, not the night before a game and stuff.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But you have been hauled out of a pub, Nick, before a game, haven't you? Were you actually drinking in the pub, or were you just, having a chat on water or whatever?
No, I was drinking, but I think there's a bit of I think the cultural change of social media, now you have to be so careful of what you're doing the night before if someone films you or anything like that. But I think the whole culture, back earlier in my tennis days, when you finished and you played a match, everyone would just want to go and grab a drink together and kind of hang out together, where now everyone kind of stays with their own teams and then doesn't kind of mix with the other players. Where
that's not good.
Yeah, but I miss that. I miss that kind of, you know, camaraderie where you would go out with the players, you know, I'm seeing these competitors more than my own family from time to time. So that connection was special. But yeah, I mean, I guess the times have just changed.
So does tennis need more characters now?
I think it could use a couple more characters, but as I said, these guys are true professionals and they're doing it their way. And I think tennis historically is known to not have too many characters.
So why would, if they're so professional now, why would Sinner make a stupid mistake like that about having a massage and bollock, something's getting his body? I don't understand that. Surely they have to check everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, for me, you know, I pay my physiotherapist and my team members, you know, a lot of money, and you trust the research they've gone through, the training they've gone through. You're ultimately responsible for what they're putting in your body. You know, that's, you know, you can't just say you don't know. You've hired these people to make sure that doesn't happen. So, yeah, look, it's done now, and he's still playing some amazing tennis. You know, I can't take away the tennis he plays, and he is an incredible player, but that will always kind of be hanging, I think, over his head.
Was that his first time, though?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe, you know, you just... what about, let me think, ladies' tennis, okay? I wouldn't know who's is Coco, is she number one? I wouldn't know who is.
I believe Coco Gauff is number one at the moment. She just, she's been playing some great tennis.
What about Aussie tennis players at the moment, as in, should there not be more coming through? It's you know, I think back to the olden days. There was so many
rich
good
culture.
Australians. Yeah. Well, what's happened?
Yeah, we have some good. We've actually got a lot of male tennis players right now in the top 100. I think we've got maybe 8 or 9 players, which is pretty good. Obviously, we're not, you know, winning Grand Slams like we used to, as you were saying, like Leighton Hewitt, Pat Rafter, all these type of guys. But tennis in Australia right now is booming. There's a lot of young kids playing it. And I think, you know, tennis in Britain right now is really good as well. I think you guys have a couple really good female players, and on the male side we've got Jack Draper, Cameron Norrie, Dan Evans. Still's got some really good players.
And obviously it's a long way off yet, but at the end of your career, would you stay in tennis?
Yeah, I mean,
have you thought about that, to be a coach? Or
I would love to commentate, to be honest. You know, this is all I've done, you know, since I was 7 years old, is watch the game, play the game, and I've...
Well, Pat's done that, hasn't he, Pat Cash?
Yeah. You know, I've rubbed shoulders with some of the greatest of all time, so I would love to add my knowledge to the sport, and I would probably coach as well. I think I could coach some pretty, you know, mentally loose players out there.
Canu, she's a decent player, ball account. She's romancing Alcaraz at the moment. She's got problems with injuries. She's having... acupuncture at the moment to get ready for Wimbledon, but she's got immense talent, but she seems so up and down at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard in this day and age. You know, she won a Grand Slam. You know, one of her first ever Grand Slams.
America, was it US?
Yeah, US Open. I think at 19 years old, and you know what comes with that, like all the things off the court. And, you know, it's a lot of responsibility for someone like that. But yeah, her and Alcaraz, I think there's a little bit going on there. I don't know.
Oh no, I believe so. Our mole on the court has told us. Well, they just make it up. Right, Nick, we've been asking our listeners all morning, send the questions for you. So we're going to take some of those now. So let's hear the first one. This is a very good morning to James. James, what you got?
Morning, guys. Quick question for Nick. I know in the past he said that he's a Spurs fan, but can he still support Tottenham after what they've done to Biganj Postecoglou?
Oh, yeah. Look, half the reason why I do like Tottenham is because of Ange. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might have to jump on the Arsenal bandwagon now.
No. You go Celtic instead, because Ange had a tremendous time at Celtic in Glasgow.
Yeah, I mean, look,
never mind your Boston Celtic. It's Glasgow Celtic.
Okay, Glasgow Celtic. Then I'll go for them. But yeah, look, I think. Look, I played a lot of FIFA in my time, so I'm not sure that my supporting cast to Tottenham really meant much. But yeah, I'll jump on the Arsenal bandwagon.
No, you can't. When was the last time they won in? What? When was the last time you won something?
2000 FA Cup.
Oh, yeah, something decent.
It's decent, but yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I think it's a good decision.
Yeah,
really. The next one for Nick. Who's this?
Good morning, Nick. Quick question for you. John McEnroe has claimed that both Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner would beat Rafael Nadal at his best. Do you agree?
Depends on what court.
That is, I think, right now, I would probably lean towards saying no. We're talking about one of the greatest athletes, not only in tennis, but in any sport.
He's a bold show.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these older tennis players, I think they get ahead of themselves a little bit. But no, I think Rafa Nadal was probably, he was the greatest, probably arguably one of the greatest players ever. And on clay, I would say no. I would say Alcaraz and Sinner wouldn't beat Rafa Nadal on his prime.
Some similar games with Federer v Nadal at Wimbledon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But another guy I don't think we mentioned Sampras yet. What a player he was.
Yeah, he had, one of the best serves of all time. But
Stefan Emberg, he was a nice player.
Yeah. No, that's an insane statement now that I think about it. From McEnroe. I can't believe.
Can we take one more, please?
Nick, Joe here. I know you love Call of Duty, but would you genuinely rather have a 10-kill streak than a Wimbledon championship?
No, we don't know what that means. What does that say?
No, it's like a video game that I play. Like,
I know the game. But it's very addictive. I must admit,
it is. No, look, I would take the Wimbledon title for sure. If I'd won Wimbledon, I would have been left alone. That's the only thing I wanted.
Are you any good on that?
Yeah, I'm very good. Yeah, I'm very good.
Do you play against your mates, or because you can make lots of money out of that, can't you?
Yeah, I know.
Video games.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not that good.
Oh, right,
but I played a lot during my career. But no, I think if you win Wimbledon, half the reason why I wanted to win Wimbledon because then everyone just can leave me alone.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he hasn't won a Grand Slam. So I was so close and I wasn't able to get it.
Yeah, but I think you're a very sociable guy. I think you like talking to people.
I do like talking to people, yeah. I do like giving it back.
So you be careful in that pub tonight.
No, be careful. You're going to be with me.
I would like to, but listen, absolute pleasure.
Appreciate it, guys.
I hope the knee gets better. I'm sure it will. You've got the best people around. And let's see you back on court soon. I hope so. And enjoy Wimbledon.
And have a great night tonight.
I appreciate it.
Wimbledon Theatre.
Nick,
thank you, guys.
Brilliant. Well done.
Appreciate
really
it, guys.
enjoyed that. Big thanks to Nick there. Just a reminder, still a few tickets available for the show tonight in Wimbledon. It's a great theatre, by the way. It'll be brilliant if his podcast is anything to go by. You will have plenty more Nick here on talkSPORT. Really enjoyed it all through Wimbledon. Absolutely brilliant. It's coming up 10:15. to say, what a nice guy.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely. He'd be good to take out on a night out.
Oh, God, yeah. Talk about social, nice. Yeah, really liked him.
Let's
Nice
hope
guy.
he gets better and he's back on the old court.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Ray Parlour. That was Nick Kyrgios, of course. Now, there's a bit of a story this morning in The Sun. Wonderwall might not make it in to the set list at the eagerly anticipated Oasis. Come back to her. You're having a laugh,
that's
boys.
One of the best records.
Can you believe that? Surely not.
Nah, that's got to be in it. I'll be
That's
amazed.
a wind-up. It's got to
It
be
is a
wind-up.
wind-up. I'll be amazed if that's not played.
Well, sometimes they do things like that, don't they? Not just Oasis. Sometimes they do it, you know?
It's like I like Jamiroquai and the old records he had were superb. But he's got new stuff as well. But you will hear a few new stuffs. But when the old stuff comes on, the crowd go mad.
I would have thought that'd be the last song.
Yeah, I should imagine so as well. I think it will well. Well, it's coming up soon, innit? So we'll find out whether it is played. But I'm sure they will definitely play that song.
There's another story
worldwide. How many records they sell for that Wonderwall? God, it's got to be. It's got to be millions. Yeah.
Another story claiming that a certain Liam Gallagher should become Prime Minister.
Well, he'd do a better job, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, you've got a point.
And a mayor. I think Noel should be mayor.
Oh, yes, why not?
Yeah, we're getting both in.
Win double.
They're sorted out. The country. But look, Liam, I love Liam as well. But we've met Noel a few times, haven't we?
I met Liam at Stephen Purdue's wedding.
Yeah, I mean, they're both great characters. Obviously, Noel, we met a few times. Really good guy, isn't he? Yeah. Really, really. They love their football. Man City, obviously, they must be very proud when they play the records at the end of the games and the old Oasis, and he knows all the players.
But I hope Rod's all right because he's cancelled a few gigs, so we want to see Rod at Glastonbury, don't we?
Oh, Rod's different class, isn't he? Well, you've seen it. He was at the Chris Evans party? Sorry.
Yeah.
In the back
2
garden.
years ago, brilliant.
Absolutely, that must be.
Well, you're going to love it.
That must be like a dream come true for certain people. Being that close, because obviously you see him on a stage.
Yeah.
But to be that
and
close.
all the boats, because it's right on the river, and all the boats were queuing up outside.
I bet they were. Listen,
yeah.
I'm really looking forward
Chris
to that.
Evans, in fact, Nick should come along, but it's not for me to invite him. But he should come along. He'd love it. But Chris does it perfect. It's called Gig in the Garden. It's perfect.
We got to pace ourselves, Aldo.
Oh, Jill's already told me. Don't worry about that.
Well, no, I could lead you astray. I might lead you astray.
She says we'll get there late Friday and we'll leave early Sunday. I went, what's the point of going? What's up with you? Just chill out and enjoy yourself.
What you don't say Sunday?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, you got to say Sunday. That's a good day as well, isn't it?
That's a great day.
Best drink of the week, Al, Sunday.
Yeah, the Ivy and Marlow. Brilliant.
Oh, so no, we'll have a good time, don't worry.
No, I'm going to pace myself. Right, the reunion of the century starts next week, and we're giving you a chance to win a pair of Oasis tickets in Manchester on July 19th. Yes, you heard that right. Oasis Live 25 is sold out. Don't worry, they'll play Wonderwall. But talkSPORT, we can get you in. That's not all. Alongside the ticket, we'll put you up for the night in a beautiful hotel. We'll put $5,000 in your back pocket, completely tax-free. Listen up right now for everything you need to know and how to enter.
Alright, kid, you have to be over 18 to enter in the UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay and $5,000 spending money, all you gotta do is text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m. and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Sorted. Right, here's all the legal stuff. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You've got to have the bill payer's permission or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, P.O. Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 8GP to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Ah, there you go. Look, for a couple of quid, have a go. You just might be lucky. It might be. If you're not in, you can't win. I'm not saying have a bet, but it's a couple of quid. What's a couple of quid get you nowadays?
Oh, well, it's some prize, isn't it? I wonder what hotel they're staying at. We used to stay at the Lowry.
I don't think anyone would matter about that, do you?
But
just
Lowry
to be there and get $5,000 in the pocket, Paul.
Yeah, Lowry, we used to stay when we played, obviously, Manchester United up round the corner. That was a lovely hotel as well, Lowry. Beautiful. But now that's some prize. And people are really going to be looking forward to it.
I don't really know Manchester, to be honest.
You was on the outskirts, weren't you?
I was up near the airport, around Hale and Altrincham, place like that, which was lovely. Winslow, Audley Edge.
Is that
really
a lot of players live around that area?
Yeah.
Probably current players now, probably, don't they?
Yeah. Really nice.
Oh, lovely.
Nice restaurants, pubs and all that. It was good.
Yeah.
Really good. Bowden was nice. In those days it was Sunday, so the shot at 3 and then you slip next door.
That's the only different thing about back in the day. Football was very regimental, wasn't it? You knew exactly where you stood. You only play Saturdays, didn't you?
Yeah.
3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
Every Saturday. Now, obviously, you play Sunday, Friday night, sometimes Monday night. It's all spread around the weekend now because of TV.
You're right.
But you knew exactly where you stood. We always had Wednesday off. So the reason we had Wednesday off, because we was renting off for university the pitches, and they had to use them Wednesdays.
All right.
That's the only reason we had. Can you? That's his Arsenal Football Club.
How things have changed.
Yeah, that's the only reason we had Wednesdays off, because of the university needed the pitches.
Right. So what are you doing this week? You had a bit of golf?
I will be playing golf, Al. Probably Thursday with the boys over my local club, Heron, which is really good.
What clubs are you using at the moment?
What do you think? What do I like drinking?
A Cobra.
Yes, indeed. They're lovely clubs, by the way.
Yeah.
We have to go out with the guys. They've got the offices around the corner.
They have.
We'll
it was near our old studio, wasn't it?
Yeah. We'll have to go out again with the guys, and they always look after you, don't you? For a few prizes here and there for your golf days.
Calories are great.
Yeah. There's some great golf clubs out there and now. I mean, but I like the Cobras. I really do. I've got on with got a nice driver as well. And driving's the most important thing. You've got to get over the range again and try.
I know I will. I'm going to a bit of Volta end.
I think you'll be good at the old putting. I think you've got an eye for putting.
Around the green.
Yeah. Over the windmill.
Right, Ray, I've really enjoyed today.
Cheers,
thanks to Nick Kyrgios.
Happy Friday.
Well,
it's Tuesday.
We
wish to pretend it's Friday.
I know. Right, I'm back tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock. I think it's the Brain of Britain. I think it's Gabby. All right. I think Gabby's with me tomorrow.
The pedal master.
Oh, God, he's going to get it again tomorrow. But really enjoyed today. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Speak to you tomorrow.